And they are second in the National League in hitting are these battling Buccos. So the challenge for Matt Clement, beat them up again. Matt 1-0 against them this year, didn't give up a run in 6 innings back in Chicago.
And last time out, he went 6 innings and he was brilliant. He fanned 7. He got the win in that one, and he handled this Pirate team. The question tonight is, will he be able to handle them in their home park? He always throws well in this ballpark.
And Kip Wells is undefeated against the Cubs lifetime. He's 3-0. He's a real tough customer. Let's see if the Cubs can do some damage against Kip Wells. It's a doubleheader. Tough to sweep him. Cubs need a win tonight to knock off these Pittsburgh Pirates, a team they've had good luck against this year.
Kip Wells has lost 3 of his last 4. Maybe the trend will continue. He does have good stuff, however, and Randall Simon's in the lineup for Pittsburgh, so they're adding some beef to their order.
Enough said. It's the Cubs and the Buccos from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Starting lineups for Game 1 of the doubleheader coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by your local area Lexus dealer, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. Geico Direct, a 15-minute phone call can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Comcast, proud to be Chicagoland's cable company. Mike's Hard Lemonade, hardly the usual. Make it a Mike's. Chevy, test drive a new Chevy car or truck today at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Aflac, ask about it at work. Toyota, get the feeling. And by Southwest Airlines, over 2,800 nonstop daily flights to 60 destinations all across the country.
Attention shoppers, we have Chicagoland's best produce because it's always fresh.
Fresh like a Chevy Impala sedan with best-in-class highway fuel economy.
Nice.
The word is out. On a 2004 Chevy Impala, get 0% APR financing for 60 months for qualified buyers. Or choose $3,000 cash back.
Is that guy gonna smell every cantaloupe?
Looks like it.
You don't want that one, okay.
Thomas Schmidt.
Schmitty!
It's tough being the first one of my college friends to get a job. We like to talk a lot.
Guess how many cookies I have in my mouth?
6. That's why we all joined in.
Join in and make free calls to any Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any plan minutes from our national in coverage area.
Bring home toilet paper.
Is your group in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Listen, I got an idea, Russ. This is a good promotion. Listen, gotta go. Where you going? Come here.
Check it, Russ.
Yeah, right there. So, man, Russ.
Panasonic D-Snap SD multi-camera. Digital video, print quality stills, MP3 player, and voice recorder for whenever inspiration strikes. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Hyundai Initial Quality is winning people over. The Hyundai Sonata was just named the highest-ranked entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. That dedication to quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. And the feature-packed Hyundai Sonata starts for as little as $15,339. So don't buy another sedan before you check out the highest-ranked Hyundai Sonata. Hyundai, win. During our Memorial Day savings event, get $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Well, folks, it's a beautiful evening in Pittsburgh. The rains moved through last night. A few scattered showers this morning, but we should have absolutely gorgeous weather for the doubleheader tonight. Great weather all weekend. And, Steve, frankly, this should be a pretty well-attended series as the Cubs pay their second visit here at PNC Park this season.
I think if the Cubs can get by Kip Wells in the first game, they're in pretty good shape thinking about a doubleheader sweep. But Wells has always had luck against the Cubs. However, he's lost 3 of his last 4. And because he gets behind early and the pitches pile up, he's averaged less than 6 innings per start, and then the Pirates are going to have to go to the bullpen. So hopefully the offense will show up, and I'm anxious to see Ray Ordonez in the 2 spot.
And I'm anxious to see the Cubs starting lineup, which has Ordonez hitting second tonight behind Todd Walker. Moises Alou will be in left field. Not Sammy Sosa. He's back home with a bad back. Then it's Aramis Ramirez, Todd Hollinsworth, Derek Lee at first base, Corey Patterson, Paul Bacco, and Matt Clement will hit ninth. Wells lifetime 3-0 against the Cubs and a sub 2-point earned run average against us.
He throws awfully hard. His curveball is his best breaking pitch. He does have a slider to go with it and a changeup he doesn't use very often.
So we're underway. Game 1 of the doubleheader, and Wells misses with a ball low and inside to Todd Walker. 67 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Pittsburgh today. They'll have between 20 and 25,000 fans before the evening is done.
Actually, partly sunny also.
Half full, half empty philosophy. Absolutely right.
I don't think we've seen the sunshine here very often, so it's a refreshing change this evening.
This is already the Pirates' third doubleheader this year. They have 3 more coming up because of all the wet weather in Pittsburgh this spring. And that's over but low again to Todd Walker. Cubs have handled the Pirates very effectively this year. They've won 4 straight and 4 of 5 overall in the head-to-head series. And that's out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Cubs leadoff man, Todd Walker.
He's doing a nice job already of working the count, making sure that Wells throws a whole lot of pitches here in the first. If you can, you'd like to get him to throw at least 20 pitches in the first inning. Right now he's on his 5th.
That one through the wicket, but to Jack Wilson at short. And Wilson fires to first in time for out number 1.
Well, fortunately for Wells, he doesn't have thicker legs, or he would have deflected that ball into a base hit. He let it go right between his legs, and Wilson, who's pretty dependable at shortstop, was able to make the play.
Well, here's the man you were interested in seeing. The new shortstop for the Cubs, Ray Ordonez, getting the start in game 1 tonight.
I talked to him before the game. He's very excited about being the Cubs shortstop after a spring with San Diego.
And a very short spring with San Diego.
Well, he said Kevin Towers told him he would be able to compete for the shortstop job, and when he played in 2 of 19 games, a pretty good idea that Khalil Green was going to be the shortstop, and Ray went home.
Sharply hit toward third, knocked it down by Mackowiak. And Ray hit it hard, but is retired for out number 2.
Where the Pirates are going to have problems. Tyke Redmond's a pretty good center fielder, but they're going to have big problems at the corner. Greg Wilson has a whole lot of room to cover in left field, and Darrell Ward is just adequate in right. Pretty good play by Mackowiak. You stay in front of it, you can knock it down, and then you have all kinds of time if you're a third baseman.
That'll bring up Moises Alou, who carries a 7-game hit streak into tonight's doubleheader. Alou 3 for 12 against Wells lifetime. Very spacious dimensions in straightaway left, as Steve mentioned. This is not a friendly place for a right-hand hitter. 389 to straightaway left, 410 out to what I guess you'd call the Bermuda's Triangle in left center field. That's where the bullpens start.
Well, I think Tyke Redmond's going to have to shade around toward left center most of the evening.
That one sharply hit off Mackowiak, and it deflects to shortstop, where Wilson picks it up on a short hop. So Alou's aboard. That should be a hit, you would think. It was a rocket to third, still waiting on the scoring.
Well, I don't know what they're waiting for. That was a 1-hop rocket. That's got to be a base hit. Mackowiak gets an error on that. He's going to have a real tough year defensively. And so far, they finally give him a hit.
Infield hit for Alou gives him an 8-game streak now, and Ramirez, the former Pirate, comes up.
For a minute, Stevie Wonder was the official scorer, but it turns out he's not.
Must be Bob Rosenberg's brother. A strike over the outside corner to Ramirez. It's 0-1. Arama's hitting .290 with 10 home runs. He's driven home 35.
When Raul Mondesi was here, he would play right field on the road, but left field in this park because of the spacious left field. Now with him gone, they move Wilson over there, and it could be a liability. And as hot as Darrell Ward has been, he's never been one known as being a terrific defender.
Well, this Pirate team defensively is in the middle of the pack in the National League. They've been guilty of 29 errors this season. Good stop by Kendall, and Ramirez ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Just underway. Have 18 innings of baseball for you, we hope, here from Pittsburgh tonight.
If we have 17, there's a huge problem.
That's exactly right. 2 balls, 1 strike. Although a good lead over at first. And that's over but low for ball 3.
Well, here's where Wells gets into problems. He quickly got 2 up and 2 down. And now with the base hit, he's extended this first inning. And if the Cubs get another base runner, you could get him around that 20 pitch mark before this is over.
Fly ball hammered center field. Redmond turned the wrong way. Still going back. Leaps on the track and makes a tumbling catch to retire the side. Ramirez hit a run. But Tyke Redmond, who has not made an error in center field this year, makes a terrific catch. And that retires the Cubs in the top of the first.
Memorial Day, the sunrise of summer. And now through June 1st, Buick makes an extraordinary offer. A quality reward of $5,000 total cash back on the luxury of LeSabre, America's best-selling full-size car, delivering nearly 30 miles per gallon highway. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. After $5,000 cash back, a LeSabre Custom is available starting at around $20,000. See your Buick dealer by June 1st.
Rusty, I feel the need.
Not right now.
No, Rusty, I feel the need.
Girls, if you feel the need for speed, let's go to Chicagoland Speedway.
Here's your chance to see the stars of NASCAR, ARCA, and Indy racing. Feel the need for NASCAR July 10th and 11th. Feel the need for ARCA and Indy racing on September 11th and 12th. Act now to reserve your track pack to all the great racing action by calling 815-727-RACE or visit ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
Are you feeling the need?
At Geico.com, you can get free rate quotes and handle all your car insurance needs online. But we like to make it interesting. Here's an idea we received via email. Yo, I think your website would be the bomb if you had the gecko do the robot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I'm Max from New York with Max Kellerman. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
No score as we head to the Pirates half of our first inning. Let's take a look at the way Lloyd McClendon lines them up in game 1 tonight. Pittsburgh 2 games under 500 at 20-22. Jason Kendall back in the leadoff spot. He's been red hot. Then it's Jack Wilson, Darrell Ward, a very pleasant surprise. Craig Wilson, Rob Mackowiak at third base. Then our old friend Randall Simon back off the DL. He'll play first base. Bobby Hill, a former Cub, hit 7th. Tyke Redmond drops to 8th in the order. And Wells will hit 9th against Pittsburgh native Matt Clement.
Clement's having a great year. This is his 10th start, looking for his 7th win. The ERA in the mid-2s. As you can see, the opponent's hitting just 190. And unlike previous years where left-handers have really killed him, although they give him more problems, he's throwing a slider that goes straight down to try to combat them. He's 7-6 lifetime against the Buccos. He's beaten them in the 1 game he's faced them this year.
That was back in Chicago, April 14th. He did not allow a run in 6 innings of work. And Jason Kendall, a rarity, a leadoff catcher, goes to work for the Pirates. It's been done before, and certainly in recent memory.
Craig Biggio was the one guy. One thing you have to worry about with both Biggio and Kendall is if you get the ball inside, they're going to lean in front of it and get on base.
And why is he leading off? 1, he's swinging the bat exceptionally well. 2, he almost never strikes out. He's got a very high on-base percentage. And despite all those years behind the plate, still runs pretty well for this Pittsburgh team.
He also has a grand total of no home runs.
That's in for a strike. 1-2 the count from Matt Clement.
When we saw Kendall last time, you might remember, he was hitting in the number 3 spot. But with no home runs and just 19 driven in, they figured he'd be better served at the top than in the middle of the lineup.
That one back to Clement. Good play by the Cubs starter, and Kendall is out number 1.
Let's take a look at the Cubs' Corona defense. And they'll need some defense in this spacious ballpark. It's a Lou Patterson and Hollinsworth left to right, with Ramirez, Ordonez, Walker, and Lee in the infield. Paul Bacco starts the first game of the Twin Bill, and Matt Clement on the hill.
And it brings up the second leading hitter in the National League. Jack Wilson, second only to Cincinnati's Sean Casey, atop the batting average pile in the senior circuit.
And the control of the Wilsons is the key to beating the Pirates. They are 2 of the top 4 hitters, and they're all hitting well over 300.
4 homers, 16 driven in, the power numbers for Wilson, former Cardinal farmhand who came over in a trade a couple of seasons ago involving Jason Christensen.
He's another guy that doesn't strike out often, just 16 times and 175 at bats.
And Clement quickly ahead of him with a quick second strike. Sean Casey number 1, Wilson number 2, Lyle Overbay number 3, Lance Berkman number 4, and Barry Bonds 5th in hitting in the National League.
What I've seen from Wilson, and the reason he doesn't strike out much, is when he's down 0-2, many times he'll look for that slider away and just try to poke it into right or right center field.
That ball pulled foul past third, however. 0-2 remains the count.
Paul Bacco wanted it away, and Matt Clement got under the slider, actually hung that one. When you're having a good year and you make a mistake with the slider, they either foul it back, foul it off, or miss it. You look into Bacco, he wants a slider again. Let's see if he can get it out there.
The 2-strike pitch is cut on and missed. 2 up, 2 down for Darrell Ward.
Ward went to spring training. He was out of shape and didn't get much of an opportunity. This is Darrell Ward hitting for the cycle, and it's the only time in Major League history where a father and son combination, his father Gary Ward did it, both hit for the cycle. I would say for Darrell Ward, the triple would be the big challenge.
But not in this ballpark. If you hit it to left center, you've got a shot. Strike 1 to Ward, who Cub fans will remember from his days with the Astros. He once hit 20 home runs for that team.
Well, he's always been a real good hitter. And when they didn't give him a shot out of spring training, he said he was going to just quit. But he went down, lost 15 pounds, and started hitting everything in sight. And here he is.
Last year with the Dodgers, a very disappointing season for him. Struggled with a wrist problem, hit just a .183 for Los Angeles. And he's the kind of player that, frankly, the Pirates are going to look for. They try to catch a lot of lightning in the bottle with players like Darrell Ward.
Well, they tried with Raul Mondesi, didn't work out quite as well as they'd like. Ward off to a red-hot start.
Did he go? He did not. The appeal to third. Gary Cederstrom says no swing. Tim Welke, by the way, calling the balls and strikes tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Darrell Ward.
This is a left-hand hitter's paradise if you can pull the ball.
320 feet down the right field line, a 21-foot high fence upon which the National and American League scoreboards rest. And that 21-foot high wall in honor of Hall of Famer and Pirate great Roberto Clemente.
He would love this ballpark because he was a right and right center field hitter, even though he was a right-hand hitter.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch with the bases empty. Ward will stay alive here in the first.
Well, there was a lot of people that thought that Ward would play his entire career with the Houston Astros because there is no doubt that he could really hit. But he didn't hit for quite enough power to make up for his defensive deficiencies. He doesn't have particularly good speed, but he's always been able to swing the bat.
Surprised he hasn't been an American League player. Down on strikes he goes. 3 up, 3 down for Matt Clement, who's looking sharp tonight. We have no score in game 1 of the doubleheader in Pittsburgh.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Midas. For mechanics known for their work and their word, trust the Midas touch. Corona Extra, miles away from the ordinary. Your Chicagoland Ford stores. And by SBC, going beyond the call.
Yeah.
Americans are hardworking people, but they also treasure their free time. That's why most people have outdoor power equipment with high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines inside. They start easily and have the power to get the job done quickly. In fact, they've been helping Americans make the most of their free time for nearly a century. So be sure there's a powerful Briggs & Stratton engine inside. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
When it starts showing up in video games, don't let the needle-pushing T5 turbo performance mess with your mind. It's still built like a Volvo. Introducing the all-new Volvo S40.
Hey Cubs fans, looking for a new way to get to Wrigley Field? Try riding your bike. There are several bike racks surrounding the ballpark, or drop off your bike free of charge at our bike check service located at the corner of Clark and Waveland. For more information, visit www.cubs.com.
Todd Hollinsworth, Derek Lee, and Corey Patterson to face Kip Wells now in our second inning tonight. Todd's done a fine job since taking over for the injured Sammy Sosa. Todd brings a 6-game hit streak into tonight's action.
And he has tremendous power. You get a little careless, middle in with a fastball, and he can take it out easily.
And with a left-handed batter up there, you think about the splash hits. There have been 18 home runs hit into the river here in Pittsburgh.
Not on the fly, though.
I think only one. I think it was Darrell Ward who did it. Broken bat roller right side. Bobby Hill glides to his left. Good pickup, good throw, and goodbye Todd Hollinsworth. One away.
The Cubs have to have Derek Lee start to come alive, and to do that, he's got to be aware of the inside corner. That's where the National League is going to get him. And we saw Jeff Kent make a huge adjustment in Houston. He moved well back off the plate. And I'm sure looking over the films, Derek will start to be more aware of that pitch in there.
Derek's last home run 22 days ago. That was against Oscar Villarreal of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, to get it out of here easily, you have to pull it right down the line where it's just 3 1/4. But it juts out very quickly.
1 strike to Derek Lee. Again, they go inside. Again, it's called a strike.
Now, in his last start, Kip Wells threw a home run ball on 0-2. It'll be interesting to see what he does with this one.
That was a no decision against the Brewers by Wells. Struck out 8, walked 2 in 7 innings.
He made sure he wasn't going to throw a home run 0-2 there by throwing it about 8 feet high.
1 ball, 2 strikes here in our second inning. Keep an eye on the scoreboard as the evening progresses. 2 games of note: Cincinnati and Montreal tonight, and Houston hosting St. Louis. Roger Clemens going for his 8th victory for the Astros.
I would be careful inside here. Let's see if he's looking for it there.
2-2. He got it there. Lee down on strikes. First one of those for Wells. 2 outs.
Kip Wells' fastball tops out about 96. That one was meant to go inside. He missed his spot, still got his strikeout. Corey Patterson's been bunting a little more lately. However, as a pull hitter, this park is made for him. And Ward is playing him well off the line. Plenty of room to hit it down that line and right.
That one skips up. Kendall a backhanded stab. 4-1 to Corey Patterson.
Here's a look at the man that came over from the Chicago White Sox in 2001.
That one up the middle. But Bobby Hill scoops and fires, and that takes care of the Cubs in the second. A lot of ground balls so far from Wells tonight. We have no score at PNC Park.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Phoenix for just $89.
You are now free to move about the country.
Check this out.
I used to be a burger buncher. I put them on one side of my old grill because it had cold spots on the other side, which made my burgers really unhappy. But this year I bought a Weber grill because their famous cooking system eliminates cold spots. And that's good, because now my burgers are nice and evenly cooked all over. Log on to Weber.com and learn what makes a great gas grill.
Maglio Ordonez and the Sox face off against one of the AL's elite when Vladimir Guerrero and the Angels come to the South Side. White Sox, Angels, tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Well, friends, after game one, you might be...
Game two?
It's amazing.
How about that?
Is that how you become the sportscaster of the year?
That's how you become a fine investigative analyst.
It's incredible. Glendon Rush and Oliver Perez will tangle in the nightcap, which can't start until after we finish game one.
Until the day cap is over.
That's exactly right. Here's Craig Wilson.
This guy has always been able to hit, but the last time the Cubs faced him, they retired him a lot on sliders.
That pitch backed up, but caught the inside corner.
Again, when you're having a good year, you make mistakes and you get away with it. Matt would like to stay on top of that slider a little bit more.
Lake swing and a miss. Wilson, the only Pirate to play in every game this year. Very versatile guy. Played both corner outfield spots, can play first base and can catch. But more than that, he can hit.
Well, both of these Wilsons have had some problems with Clement, because Clement usually doesn't have problems with right-handers. Just don't hang it.
Off his thumbs and out of play. Why is Matt Clement having a good year? There are several reasons, but I think simplistically speaking, Steve, the biggest key for Matt has been his job against left-handed hitters. Historically, Clement's given up a lot of runs to the left-handed batters. This year, they're hitting at 193 against him.
He's got a different type of slider that's going straight down. That's what's been able to neutralize the left-handers. I think the guy I'll have a whole lot of trouble with in this lineup is Tyke Redmond, but he's hitting 8th.
1-2 pitch. 3 straight Pirates down on strikes. 1 away in the second. 62 strikeouts this season for Matt Clement.
Throws that sinker and the bottom falls out of it. So everything going pretty well. And here's a guy with some surprising power. Oaklawn's very own Rob Mackowiak,
who also has been red hot. He's hit safely in 13 of the last 15 Pirate games, and that's relegated Chris Steins to bench duty. Mackowiak at third base, another multitasking Pirate defensive player.
It gives you a pretty decent defensive effort wherever you put him. And as you can see, both righties and lefties for Clement. Not doing much with him this year. That's a radical departure from years past where he would retire most of the right-handers, but left-handers would just wail away at him. He's been one of the most effective pitchers in baseball.
Here's the 1-1 with the bases empty. That's pulled foul at first. Derek Lee will handle cleanly and make a friend on guaranteed souvenir inning here in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's a late arriving crowd, as you would expect, because this one was not on the schedule at 5 o'clock. This is the makeup game. The original time scheduled 7 o'clock. There's going to be about 25,000 here. Tomorrow night's game is a complete sellout because it's fireworks night, and about 20 or 25,000 due on Sunday. So it'll be a well-attended series.
And that's nice to see for the Pirates. They're playing, I think, a whole lot better than people expected them to play at this point in the year. They're only 2 games under 500. And Pittsburgh just 4.5 games out of top spot in the division.
They've got to get them now because football season's a-coming.
Down on strikes is Mackowiak. Clements punched out 4 in a row.
Another good sinker. And Mackowiak sees the bottom fall out of that one. So a man who spent the last part of the year in Chicago last year, very popular, Randall Simon.
Who represents, as you said, the beef of this Pirate lineup.
Well, there's no doubt that the uniforms of Randall and Darrell Ward are interchangeable. Randall's had some leg problems.
Hamstrings.
It's just surprising.
He's just off the DL. That one hit a mile to left, but to the wrong part of the ballpark. Alu is there, and Randall Simon is retired. 3 up, 3 down. Scoreless game heading to the 3rd.
Santo. All Chicagoans admire him for his brilliant career at third base and as today's broadcast voice of the Cubs. No wonder he always draws a crowd.
Can I have your autograph?
What other reason could there be?
They like my Chevy.
Right now, use bonus cash to get $4,000 total cash back or choose 0% APR for 60 months on every 2004 Chevy Suburban and Tahoe.
Mr. Santo, can I drive your Chevy?
No.
See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Let's face it, there are a lot of bad drivers out there. You can't change their driving, but you can learn to avoid them. That's why at Liberty Mutual, we teach something called decision driving and offer the latest auto safety advice to keep the road safer and keep premiums down.
Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
Looks like we've got some work to do.
Have a good summer. See you next season. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Stay close when you and your friends join in and make free calls to any Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any planned minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy any LG phone and get a VX3200 free.
Man, I can't wait to play next year. Yeah, me too.
Are you all in?
Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
The Cubs take on the Astros Wednesday, June 2nd. It's Argos's Empress Casino Joliet Day at Wrigley Field. And Steve, your seat could be randomly selected as one of the several lucky winners of a gift package, which includes an overnight stay and dinner for 2, compliments of Argos's Empress Casino Joliet.
Nice to get a little payback against those Astros coming into Chicago. Things didn't go well in Houston. But the Cubs 5 over, just 1 game out, despite treading water in their last 10 at 5-5.
You talk about remarkable stories in Major League Baseball. I think really it is one that hasn't been bandied about as much as it should. The fact that the Cubs have 9 players on the disabled list and they're only a game out of first place. Anaheim having similar injury problems. They're in first place in the AL West. Injuries are part of the game. You just hope that, as you said, you can tread water until you get Mark Pryor back, Kerry Wood back, Alex Gonzalez, Sammy Sosa, of course. You need them back as soon as you can in June, for that schedule is ferocious. Facing the Cubs next month. Bucco looks at a ball outside to even up the count.
The Cubs pitching and some pretty timely defense has helped this team stay afloat. Because offensively, they've been somewhat inconsistent, being shut out 6 times.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And Bucco stays alive. Ball hitting up 175 clip with 2 runs driven in. Pass lined over Wilson's head and into left center field. There's the second Cub hit. And let's see if Clement can lay down his fourth sacrifice bunt here.
Bucco does a nice job in this at bat. Gets it off the end of the bat and slices it over Jack Wilson's head. So now you got to make a pretty good bunt. And you'd like to bunt it at Randall Simon. Keep it away from Rob Mackowiak.
Who creeps in 7-8 steps on the grass and comes ever closer. That one tipped away by Matt, out of play for a strike.
Clement does have 3 sacrifices this year.
Nothing in 1 is your count to Clement.
Paul Bucco does have a stolen base, and Wells worried about him over there. He has to coordinate when Simon releases and tries to foil the sacrifice.
He did not swing. 4 offer, 1 ball, 1 strike. The way Matt's pitching tonight, 1 early would be a huge advantage.
Well, here's in the National League how you win a whole lot of games, and that's when they ask you to execute, you get the bunt down.
He couldn't on that delivery, and it's out of play, 1-2. I know we've talked a lot about it. You have a theory as to how to improve the bunting skills of National League pitchers.
Yeah, I think, Chip, what happens many times, you have your batting practice pitcher throwing to pitchers as they try to bunt. Consequently, they go in a game, and instead of 70 miles an hour, the pitcher's throwing 92, 93, and it's a whole different world. I would think they'd allow Matt to try to bunt again. He took another look down at Wendell Kim.
Interesting, here in Pittsburgh, they don't have coaching boxes either at first base or third base. They have coaching lines. I've never seen that before. It's kind of an odd look.
They're trying to save on chalk. As you can see, just a straight line. Coaches don't pay much attention to the coaches' boxes anyway.
Clement can't get the bunt down. That'll go as a strikeout.
Good pitch by Wells because he got 2 fastballs up, and Clement wasn't able to bunt either of them, and he can't move along Bucco.
So back to the top of the order we go with Todd Walker. He bounced out to Wilson at short, leading off this ball game.
This is actually a real good hit and run situation for the Cubs. You wouldn't think it with Bucco, who does run pretty well, and Walker, who normally will make some contact, and you do want to stay out of a double play.
Well, Bucco had a stolen base his last start. There's a rocket into right field. That'll drop in front of Darrell Ward. Around second, heading to third is Bucco. Cubs have him first and third with 1 out. Todd picks on the first pitch.
First ball, breaking ball, and Walker took the off-speed pitch into right field. Take a look at Bucco. As soon as he sees that this one's going to fall, he heads to third. Now, the interesting situation is if Dusty knows enough about Ordonez to know about his ability to maybe push the ball to the right side. It gets you a run, moves Walker to second, and you stay out of a double play.
Ordonez hit it hard to third his first time up. He tries to punt. That ricochets away from Kendall for a strike.
That's exactly what he was trying to do. Push it to the right side by Wells. That's called the safety squeeze. Bucco wasn't running. If you lay down a good bunt, Bucco can always take off. If you don't, he's not hung out to dry.
Ordonez always a slick fielder in his days with the Mets. Let's see if he can make some contact here and score Paul Bucco from third base.
He played a combined 9 games between Daytona and Iowa. In his career here, you can see he enjoys hitting in Pittsburgh.
Pirates thought a play was on. It wasn't. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ray Ordonez.
Is he defying all superstition?
He must be.
13 obviously available.
No triskaidekaphobia for him.
He jumped on it.
Runner at first goes. A little roller hit toward the mound, and Buccos hung up. Wells will apply the tag. 1 unassisted takes care of Bucco.
Well, unusual play. Dusty wanting to stay out of the double play sent Walker. Bucco, when he saw the ball hit, decided that he was going to come home, but then realized he was running out of speed. It's a good play by Wells because he gets in a rundown, doesn't make a throw, and makes sure that Walker can't come to third. So well done by Wells, and at least for the moment, the Cubs not on the board.
But there are 2 outs for Alou, who had an infield hit his first time up. Moises has knocked in 31 men. And this Cub offense, despite the roller coaster nature of its production, has been very good in 2-out situations this year. Let's see if they can cash this one in here in the 3rd.
Well, you're going to run on all of these outfielders, but surprisingly, the best arm in the outfield is probably Craig Wilson, and it's not great. It's a good arm, but this is a guy that was a catcher. He's played actually all over.
But as deep as he has to play out there, he might as well be throwing from Philadelphia.
He's not going to be able to throw Walker out.
Very carefully are they pitching to Moises. 2 balls, no strikes. Former Pirate Ramirez waiting next. We have no score in Pittsburgh yet. Swing and a rocket pulled foul out of play.
It's a pretty good 2-0 pitch because the hitter's up there looking fastball. You take a little something off, and Moises saw it as a fastball. It was a straight change, and he hit it hard, but well fouled.
Two balls, 1 strike. Fly ball, right center field. Redmond has a beat on it. He'll call off Warden, put it away. The Cubs get a couple of hits, leave 2 stranded in the 3rd. No score.
Your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time-release molecules delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Buy a case of Pennzoil SUV truck and minivan or synthetic from AutoZone and get a $10 Shell gift card.
Hey, where's the Sosa? Behind the Heineken.
Get 2 free downloads from Reel with every specially marked 12-pack of Heineken. No purchase required. See store display or Heineken.com for details. While supplies last.
It's Toyota's nationwide sales drive at your Toyota dealer with an outstanding SUV selection, industry-leading quality, and incredible values, including RAV4 and Highlander, both with the lowest fuel cost in their class. Now get 0% financing for 36 months on a new Highlander, now available with 3rd-row seating. Or get 1.9% financing on the fun and sporty RAV4. The race is on. Don't miss this event. Toyota's nationwide sales drive at your Toyota dealer now.
Cubs fans, come early and save big with the Cubs Early Bird Discount. During the first hour, the gates are open. Enjoy 25% off all food and non-alcoholic beverages. For hot dogs, pizza, Pepsi, and more, catch the Cubs Early Bird Discount.
Sunday, join Ron Kittle, Joe Girardi, Kevin Kennedy, and Steve Stone for Chicago Baseball Extra, brought to you by Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. It's the only sports show you need on Sunday night. Chicago Baseball Extra, Sunday at 10 on Fox Sports Net. 2 perfect innings for Matt Clement to this point. Now he'll face Bobby Hill, Tyke Redmond, and the pitcher Kip Wells in the Pittsburgh third.
Does this fall into the category of trying to bite the hand that once fed you?
That would qualify, yes. Same with Randall Simon.
Indeed.
Bobby Hill's done a pretty good job for these guys. Hitting .312 overall. And has been exceptional off the bench. He's got 7 pinch hits for Pittsburgh this year.
Well, they've been playing Castillo also at second base, but they wanted a left-hander against Clement.
Bobby's played some third base too. Did a good job the other day for the Pirates over there. So they're pretty happy with this young man's play.
And they're happy with the platoon situation because Jose Castillo, a young man out of Venezuela, is hitting .280.
That's outside to Bobby Hill. 2 balls and a strike. To center field. Corey Patterson going back, still going. Look at that ball carry. Fine catch by Patterson, and Hill hit it a mile, but is out number 1.
I think Corey Patterson was a little surprised at the distance of this fly ball. He started coasting under it, and it kept on going. So Hill hit it hard, but 7 straight retired by Clement.
Last we saw the Pirates, Tyke Redmond was their leadoff man. He's not anymore. He's walked 7 times and 164 at bats.
He was the one guy that I thought would have the best success with Clement.
Your reasoning?
I just think he doesn't overswing. Just tries to put the bat on the ball. He's not going to walk as an 8th hitter. It's tough to hit in the National League as an 8th hitter, but this guy's got tremendous speed.
There's a little looper, and Ordonez can't get it. There's the first Pirate hit.
Now you have to worry about the stolen base. Although Bucco gets rid of the ball pretty quickly. Redmond 3 of 5 in the stolen base department.
He stole 42 of them at AAA last year, and Redmond came up for the final 2 months of the season in 2003 and was lights out. Hit .330 for the Pirates. They thought he'd be a fixture at the top of their batting order for a long time. He still very well could be, but has not done the job consistently for Lloyd McClendon at this point for Pittsburgh.
I think he'll be a fixture at the bottom of the lineup for a while. Gibwell's a pretty good hitter, so with an out, you don't necessarily guarantee that he's going to have to bunt. Ramirez is going to be the most surprised man in the ballpark if he doesn't. He's charging hard.
I'd like him to slug it right to one of our infielders and turn a double play so you don't have to face Kendall with a man potentially in scoring position.
He's trying to give away the out to this point. But Matt has missed. This Pirate team has run a lot. They haven't run all that effectively. They've swiped 22, but they've been caught stealing 15 times.
He offered that time. 2 balls and a strike.
Cubs get a big break because he just pulled the bat back. That's ball 3. That was nowhere near the zone. Long look into the dugout as Lloyd McClendon flashing the signs to third before they flash it to Wells. It's John Russell at third base. A lot of people think that John will eventually be a major league manager.
2 balls, 1 strike. Scoreless game in our 3rd inning, and Clement wants to make sure Redmond doesn't wander too far from first.
I think a good play here is a run and bunt. And if you bunt it to third on a run and bunt, you see many guys who have good speed taking off to third if the shortstop, in this case Ordonez, doesn't cover.
Not moving. The pitch off the plate. May not have to sacrifice. 3 balls and a strike. Again, the Pirates trying to give the Cubs an out in exchange for possession of the second base bag here. With 1 out, he walks Kip Wells.
He threw him 5 pitches, none even close to the strike zone. So now you got to deal with Kendall, who you know you're not going to strike out. And Matt has to throw a ground ball and try to double him up. He's grounded into 4 double plays this year. A 5th would look awfully nice. You have to keep your eye on Redmond because it's a real big play if they allow him to steal third base.
Kendall without a home run. He's knocked in 19 men. But has a 12-game hit streak entering play tonight. High and tight, ball 1.
That's when he usually takes off the left elbow, which is heavily padded.
One ball, no strikes. That one swings in there too, even it up.
See Matt bury his looks to second to make sure that Redmond can't time him. Redmond doesn't have real good base stealing technique yet. He's doing it purely on speed. But if you only look back once and a guy can pick that up, base stealers will tell you third base is the easiest base to steal. You get a much bigger lead at second than you can get at first.
And with a right-hand hitter up, a little tougher for the catcher to make a clean throw to third base.
Even though it's a shorter throw, you get about twice the lead that you can at first.
1 ball, 1 strike to Jason Kendall. Driven down the right field line. That will reach the seats, however, and Kendall, a real tough man to strike out, in danger of doing that here. 1-2 the count.
And now Ordonez is going and talking with Walker on who he wants to push him back. Cub fan with a fine catch. That's why you bring your glove to the park.
And the Cub fans much better fielding fans than the Pirates here tonight.
I think Ordonez has decided he's going to try to push Redmond back at second because with 2-strike count, they're figuring that Kendall might be trying to take the ball to right.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Jason Kendall. I take it back. Clement steps off.
If I'm Redmond, I take off because they're not paying much attention to him, and you figure a slider's coming at 1-2.
Big lead, another half step. He's not going. The pitch off the plate. 2-2 now. Jack Wilson, the pesky Pirate shortstop, waits next. Fly ball hammered center field. Patterson drifting back. 4 steps shy of the track. He'll make the grab, and Redmond moves to third on the tag play. So first and third, 2 outs for Pittsburgh.
Knowing that Kendall is almost impossible to strike out, I'm surprised they didn't run with Redmond. Fortunately, they didn't, so that long fly ball is just that. And now runners at the corners, and the only thing you worry about is Clement with that occasional slider in the dirt. He's made 5 wild pitches this year. So a lot of pressure will fall to Paul Baca.
Wilson struck out swinging. Back in the Pirates' first turn at bat tonight. Ward waits on deck. Bucco runners at first and third with 2 outs now. And it's popped out of play for a strike. One of the lingering questions around this Pittsburgh team that their fans will continue to ask is, what will be the fate of Chris Benson? What will be the fate of Jason Kendall?
Chris Benson will be moved, and Jason Kendall probably won't because of the very large contract and how much the Pirates would have to eat to move him.
1 strike the count to Wilson. 2 strikes now from Clement.
That's a very long obligation. You have 3 years and over 2/3 of a season with Kendall as that contract stretches out. Be able to get a little something for Benson.
Mets, the Cardinals among teams in the National League interested in the Pirate right-hander. No balls, 2 strikes. Cue ball shot foul off the bat of Wilson.
Well, Benson for a team under 500 is 4-3. Not too bad. But his ERA might be troublesome at 5.24.
The Cubs and the Pirates. National League Central might be the toughest division in the game at this point. Pittsburgh just 2 games under 500, trying to draw first blood, and they can't. Matt Clement pitches into and then out of 3rd inning trouble. He struck out 5 Pirates, and to the 4th we go with no score.
Free to move about the country.
Is it true that you guys do more brake jobs than anyone else?
Yes.
And are my pads and shoes really guaranteed for as long as I own my car?
Yes.
Even if it's 20 more years?
Absolutely.
Do you ever cry at weddings?
No.
It's peak driving season. Come to Midas for great value and service every day. Lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes are just $89.95 installed. And they're guaranteed for as long as you own your car. For mechanics known for their work and their word.
Trust the Midas touch.
The average driver spends a mere 1% of the time in reverse. Yet considering what's at stake, that's 1% we didn't want to ignore. The backup camera, available in the Lexus RX 330. At your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
Sundays at 10 p.m. Join Gail Fisher and Damon Andrews for Chicago Baseball Extra. Take a look back at the week that was with expert analysis from Joe Girardi and Ron Kittle. Chicago Baseball Extra, presented by Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. Sundays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
As we head to the 4th inning, time to cue the dunk. The Aflac trivia question: in the Pirates' team history, have more bucks hit for the cycle or have more pitchers for the Pirates thrown no-hitters? We will have the answer for you in the bottom half of inning number 4.
They've had at least 20 guys hit for the cycle.
So I'll say probably more cycles.
Yeah, I'll say more cycles also.
You're a very agreeable sort today.
Yes, and if it's no-hitters, then we will be wrong once again, which we've been so many times. But we have a 50-50 chance here.
That's better than average for us. Here's Aramis Ramirez. A line to center. A tumbling catch by Tyke Redmond on the warning track. Robbed Ramirez of an extra base hit and perhaps an RBI. Pirates had the game's best scoring chance. Didn't run with Redmond. Fly ball from Kendall. Arguably could have scored the first run of this game. It didn't, however, and we're still scoreless.
I think it's got to be pretty tough to see right now. The pitcher in bright sunlight, the hitter obscured in the shadows of the stands.
fast. He's 87 miles per hour. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And among players 25 or younger, which isn't exactly the fountain of youth, seeing as you don't have to discover it then, only Pujols and Beltran ranked better in most departments than Aramis Ramirez.
In the air down the right field line. That's trouble if it's fair. It is fair, and it ricochets awkwardly into the corner. Ramirez didn't run at first, but he stands at second with a double down the right field line. That ball looked like it was going to bounce through what appears to be a window right underneath the Cochran sign in foul ground.
That's their window of opportunity. We'll watch it again as this one slices very close to being foul, but stays in fair territory. And there's Ramirez. Not real excited about that hit until he sees it is going to indeed stay fair. Gets hung up in what is a closed window. But Ramirez has hit very well against his former team.
So Hollandsworth up. He'll try to get Ramirez to third at the very least here. Nobody out. That shot won't do it. Right to Mackowiak. 1 out.
That's a real bat at bat. You're going to swing at the first pitch. You better make sure that it's a pitch you can pull with a man at second and nobody out. Todd didn't. And Ramirez stays at second where a base hit will be needed to score him.
Let's see if Derek Lee can find a way to neutralize the inside corner against Wells. Derek swung and missed. A third strike back in the second inning tonight. Oh, and 1 your count.
Fastball on the inside corner. Again, visibility isn't too good. There you can see the bright sunshine and the cut of the stands where it comes in.
Wells grunting with the effort of a ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look at that fastball up to 96. He's got one of the better arms around and certainly one of the best arms on this Pirates staff.
We'll see another one in game 2. Oliver Perez, the principal in the Brian Giles trade. A left-handed pitcher with a wicked slider and a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. They figure Perez a chance. If he can stay healthy, will be a cornerstone in their rotation.
Another fastball inside and another one not quite his best fastball, but it dipped out of the zone. So Kendall looks over in the dugout to see just exactly where they want to go on Lee. He's getting a little help from Spin Williams.
That one pops away. Kendall can't find it. No advance by Ramirez. Kendall got just enough, and there was enough hesitation from Aramis to keep him from moving to third.
Ball's in front of you, Jason. He does pick it up. Now you'd have to think that an inside fastball be forthcoming. Good pitch to take down the line if you can open up and look for it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big gap in left center if Derek can pull it. And down the left field line as well. 2-2 is your count.
Kendall knows that Wells missed his spot. He was setting up inside, and that ball was out over the plate. Here's a good look in at Jason Kendall. A guy who never really wanted to move out from behind the plate like Biggio did.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 3 strikeouts for Wells, and Derek is 0 for 2 tonight. Ramirez still at second base. Now 2 out. It's Corey Patterson's turn.
Good hard slider low and away, and this one baffles Derek. That was a real good pitch.
Here's Corey. He grounded out to second his first time up. And he's the subject of our Geico moment tonight. Some folks ready to give up on Corey Patterson. Jim Hendry, not one of them. 1 ball, no strikes. And time called. I agree with what was written in the paper today. First half of last year, Corey Patterson was on his way to the All-Star game until he got hurt.
Well, he does give the Cubs 2 things they desperately need: speed and a left-handed bat.
And a fly ball into center field. It's going to drop in front of Redmond. Ramirez around third. He'll score. And the Cubs with another big 2-out RBI take a 1-0 lead. 77 2-out runs by this Cub offense this year.
That fastball low and away, and Corey Patterson hit it in a perfect spot. He drives in run number 19. And the Cubs draw first blood. They've out-hit the Pirates 5-1. They lead 1-0.
4th run scored by this Cub offense in their last 30 innings. And it gives Matt Clement a 1-0 lead. The Cubs have out-hit the Pirates 5-1 so far in the doubleheader opener. You figure Patterson might do some running here. He's 6 out of 7 in steals.
And that's one reason why I thought they might pitch around Patterson to get to Bucco, even though Bucco had a base hit the first time up. This way, Corey's speed comes into play. I think you should watch a pitch out on the first pitch.
Corey starts, then stops. Must not have had a very good bit of traction over at first base. 0-1. A Ramirez double. A 2-out single by Corey Patterson into center field puts the Cubs in front. He's going now. Good jump. Kendall's throw is on the money. Bob Patterson in under the tag. Can't throw it any better. Corey just outran the baseball.
You're seeing just about the sum total of the Cub running game. Good play by Kendall. He's got a long arm delivery, and he tagged him, looked like right around the hamstring area. It's a straight steal. He doesn't even look back, and his foot does indeed get to the bag before the tag. And the Cubs swipe as a team their 14th, half of them by Corey.
Which, according to my Georgia math, that's 7. Bucco had a blue pit his first time up. See how carefully they work him with Clement waiting on deck. 2 balls and a strike to Bucco.
At this point, where you don't want to give up another run, you don't have anybody in the outfield to throw out Patterson on a single. Kind of surprised they're pitching it all to Bucco.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball hit toward Wilson at short. And the peg to first is in time. A 2-out hit from Corey Patterson scores Aramis Ramirez. And the Cubs have scored first here at PNC Park.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, you have that insurance. What insurance? What? Huh? Come again? The one that pays you cash. Oh, yeah. So if you're hurt and can't work. Yeah. Which one?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
It's the final days of Chevy Truck Fest. Hurry because it's all over soon. Now get the unprecedented Truck Fest offer. 1,000 bonus cash plus 0% APR for 60 months. Or get a specially equipped Silverado half-ton extended cab LS with available option packages and get a $2,000 discount. Combine the discount with current offers for a $5,500 total value. Chevy Truck Fest. A great time to get to your Chevy dealer. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Yeah, look what Daddy's got, huh? Yeah. Look, watch Daddy. It's so good. Nummy, nummy. Look, it's good. Daddy likes it. It's good. Whew. That's good.
At least you can count on Toro mowers. Guaranteed to start on the first or second pull. Or we'll fix it free.
A half hour of sports talk like never before.
I'm up in the ante.
Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions. IMAX from New York with Max Kellerman. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Let's revisit our Aflac trivia question. Have the Pirates had more no-hitters or more players hit for the cycle? And we guessed more players have hit for the cycle. And we were right.
23 cycles and 7 no-hitters.
The first no-hitter by the Pirates was way back in 1907. Nick Maddox.
Well, he had good stuff. I remember Nick. Big curveball.
Great-great-great-great-grandfather of Greg Maddox. Then Cliff Chambers, Harvey Haddix, you might remember, had the 12-inning perfect game. Lost the no-hitter and the game in the 13th.
Right, that wouldn't have been a no-hitter now.
Since they changed the rule in 1991. Bob Moose, Doc Ellis, John Candelaria, Francisco Cordova, and Ricardo Rincon combined for one as well. Ramirez at the tarp takes care of Darrell Ward here in the 4th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Pirates.
Matt Clement has a run. He's given up just 1 hit. That's to Tyke Redmond. The Pirates didn't take advantage of a running situation. And Matt Clement has real good stuff again tonight. Boy, he's had just a terrific season.
He's gunning for his 7th win. That would put him in a tie atop the National League pitchers win column. Ground ball toward third. Easy play again for Ramos. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Let's see if Mackowiak is paying attention and if he takes a couple of Clement deliveries here.
They're making it a little bit easier on Clement. He does have a walk tonight, that coming to Kip Wells. But we've seen a lot of these Pirates swinging real early in the count. And pitchers with good stuff on a given night love that.
Mackowiak struck out. That was in the 2nd inning. And that went too far off the plate. 2 offer. Rob, a new father today. He and his wife Jennifer welcomed Garrett Matthew into the world today. Fly ball into right center field, playable for Todd Hollandsworth. And it's a 4-pitch inning for Matt Clement. In inning number 4, Cubs bats go back to work, leading by a run.
And a Dell, a Focus and a Dell. Get the car and you'll go far with a Focus and a Dell. The Dell PC is free. The Dell PC is free. The printer's fat. The monitor's flat. The Dell PC is free.
Get into any 2004 Ford Focus with 0% financing or $2,000 cash back and get a Dell computer with a flat panel monitor and printer all free.
A Focus and a Dell.
And we are dancing and you're dangerous, near me. I get ideas. I get ideas. And after we have kissed goodnight, still you linger.
Rico moves your ideas forward.
I think you get ideas too.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time-release molecules delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Buy a case of Pennzoil SUV truck and minivan or synthetic from AutoZone and get a $10 Shell gift card.
IMAX from New York with Max Kellerman. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Time now for a Pontiac
in-game update. I'm Gail Fisher inside the Fox Sports Net newsroom. Former Pirate Raul Mondesi is returning to baseball just 3 weeks after he left the game. Mondesi has reached a deal with the Anaheim Angels. Former All-Star says the Angels will pay him $1.75 million for the rest of the season, though Angels spokesman Tim Mee could neither confirm nor deny Mondesi's account. Mondesi cleared waivers May 21st after the Pirates terminated his contract. He says he will join the Angels in Chicago on Sunday. We will keep you posted. First, let's send you back to Chip and Steve.
Okay, Gail, thank you very much. And that really is an interesting story. Mondesi left this Pirate team. There were some legal troubles that he had to take care of in the Dominican Republic. Pirates were not paying Mondesi as a Dominican Republic court had frozen his wages. He then left the Pirates for what were termed personal reasons, went back to the Dominican Republic. His contract voided by Pittsburgh now, Steve, and on he can go as a free agent and is going to apparently sign with the Angels, a team that, as we mentioned earlier, in first place, something the Pirates aren't.
Well, the Pirates did pay him a couple $100,000. The rule's a little strange.
And it does set really a terrible precedent. You sign a one-year contract, you're not happy, you leave, a team voids your contract, you can go in the middle of the season and sign with somebody else.
Well, I'm not sure why they didn't keep on the restricted list, but and again, we don't know the technicalities of front office protocol. But Raul Mondesi got real lucky going to the Angels.
So the Angels will apparently get the services of Raul Mondesi. They can use him because that Anaheim team has been banged up as well. Matt Clement leading off our fifth inning. Adam Andrews of Buffalo Grove, Illinois, paying close attention to this at bat. As the Cubs off to a good start in the Toyota Fan of the Game inning. Cubs score here. Adam wins a Fox Sports Net Toyota prize package, which includes a hat and a T-shirt.
That's how you lose close games. Is in a leadoff situation, walking the pitcher. Now Clement's only spot of trouble came when he walked Wells in the third. That was not leading off the inning, however, so let's see if the Cubs can make Wells pay for his indiscretion.
Todd Walker picked on the first pitch he saw in the third inning and singled sharply. Got a breaking ball that time. Let's see what Wells has in mind here. Short lead by Clement. They're not holding him, and a fastball strike catches the outside corner. Hope our friends in Westville, Illinois, enjoying our game tonight. Courtesy of Charter Communications, our Fox Sports Net affiliate. Game 1 of 2 from Pittsburgh tonight. That a little too far off the plate. It evens up 1-1.
Wells is trying to sink the ball away from Walker to induce the ground ball. I don't think Clement's going to get down quickly enough to break up 2.
Broken bat flare into shallow right. That's going to drop. Clement will play it safe and hug second base. So Walker, who came in fighting in the throes of a 3-for-26 slump, has 2 hits and 3 tries tonight.
That time he got out front of an inside fastball. Didn't hit it hard, but hit it in a perfect spot. So Ordonez now in a situation where you figure he's going to be bunting. And leaving it up to Alou and Ramirez. The heart of the order for the Cubs. Combined, they've driven in 66. I'd like to bunt this one right at Mackowiak if you could.
Ordonez 0 for 2. Wilson playing hide and seek with Clement. And that nearly a balk. Wells hesitated for a moment, but
well, there's one real big problem is if you bunt through the ball, it's a great time to pick Clement off second base. So he's got to watch the secondary lead at second.
And Wells not looking like.
Well, he doesn't know what they want him to do on the defense. And what happens is Boyd McClendon gives Mackowiak the signal. Mackowiak gives the rest of the infielders the sign, but usually verbally tells the pitcher how he wants him to defend this. And Wells didn't have any idea how he wanted to defend it, so they got it straightened out.
1-0 Cubs trying to add on here in the 5th inning. Clement diving back in safely.
Even if you don't use the pickoff play, you want to see Matt Clement dive as many times as possible. You'd like to tire him out.
Sure.
What they were trying to set up there was Wilson going to third to get the force out throw.
That's low and away, ball 1. No sign of a bunt. Oh, Pat Hughes had a happy birthday yesterday. Pat celebrating number 49, the fine radio voice of the Cubs.
Are you sure it's only 49?
That's what they claimed in the bio.
I thought he was a spry-looking 61.
Well, our dinner invitation must have gotten mailed to the wrong address. But Ron Santo went with Pat to dinner last night. Didn't even offer to pay, so Pat had to pick up the tab. He actually spent over $400 for a very large dinner party last night. That is a new Pat Hughes personal record in spending. All too low, 2-0 your count.
Again, we're going out to talk with Wells, who's pitching himself into some big problems. He's lost 3 of his last 4. Probably one of the reasons is, at times, lack of control. He certainly exhibited it this inning. All behind Ordonez 2-0 after the leadoff walk to Clement. The Cubs have never had much luck with him, but looks like it's about to turn around.
2 balls, no strikes. That one splits the dish. It's 2-1. Ballpark filling up nicely. They're still pouring across the Roberto Clemente Bridge. That's part of our center field camera shot. We'll get a panoramic view of downtown Pittsburgh. 2 balls and a strike. There is the bunt. They're going to try for third, and it's late. Wells stumbled as he made the pickup, and that cost the Pirates dearly. The Cubs have them loaded. Nobody out, and Moises Alou coming up.
Goes as a sacrifice and a fielder's choice. Real bad play by Wells. Once you juggle the ball, just turn around and go to first. That opens the door for a big inning. Matt Clement hustling all the way. And for Matt, this could be the biggest play of the game. You see Wells actually having to shot put it over to third. It's Gary Cedarstrom on the call. And the Cubs with the bases loaded and nobody out for perhaps their best clutch hitter, Moises Alou.
Who's 1 for 2 tonight? Let's put a big crooked number on that scoreboard now, and perhaps Chase Wells. Nobody up in their bullpen. You don't want to go in too early with a doubleheader on tap tonight. Spin Williams, the Pirate pitching coach, on his way out. Matt Clement and the rest of his mates to a knee upon each infield pillow here in the top of the 5th.
Well, I'm sure he's reminding Wells that Moises Alou is a wonderful first ball fastball hitter. Also, he wants him to get his composure back with a leadoff walk to the pitcher and then a real bad defensive effort and then a bad choice. Sometimes pitchers have a tendency to lose composure. It's going to cost you a few runs, most likely. Now, if you're the Pirate infield, if it's hit right at Mackowiak, he's coming home with it. If it's hit back to Wells, he's coming home with it. Other than that, they'll probably go second to first if they can induce the ground ball.
So the Cub fans chanting for Alou here. Bags full, nobody out. Anthony's a strike.
When we talk about critical at bats, this is one of them in this game. The way the Pirate offense has been and the way Clement's throwing, you get 2 or 3 here. Could be about it.
Broken bat, back to the mound. 1 there, 2 there. That's a heck of a rebound by Wells. Not only did he have to catch the baseball, he had to avoid the barrel of the bat. It was pinwheeling to his right at the pitcher's mound. 2 outs, runners second and third.
Well, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. It's a high, tight fastball, as easy as 1, 2, 3. The Cubs have runners at second and third now, but there are 2 outs.
He just sawed him right off. Here's Ramirez. First base open, but Todd Hollandsworth waiting on deck. Ramos doubled and scored on a fly ball that bounced fair down the right field line last time up.
But here's the problem for Wells. Ramirez has hit the ball hard twice. Hollandsworth hasn't.
He hits that one softly toward Hill. How about that? Bases loaded, nobody out. Cubs don't score. That could be a huge turning point. Cubs have a one-run lead, middle of the fifth.
Don't buy another SUV before you check out the Hyundai Santa Fe. Inside, tons of space and lots of standard features, all for $4,400 less than a Toyota Highlander when comparably equipped. And outside, great looks powered by an available 3.5-liter V6 with reliability backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. The Hyundai Santa Fe starting at just $17,584 with utility package. With Hyundai, you win. During our Memorial Day savings event, get $1,500 cash back or 0% APR.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Are you from Memphis? Because you're the only 10 I see. So, can I buy you a drink? Or would you rather have the cash?
Okay. You got to the count of 3 to take your bid. That works.
Don't make it the usual. Make it Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hardly the usual.
Escalade ESV, the biggest, boldest Escalade ever. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Chip and Stoney back in Pittsburgh. A golden opportunity by the boards partner. Cubs had him loaded with nobody out. Wells made a couple of real good pitches.
What will be interesting is Matt Clement was on the bases. He dove around. He ran hard to third base. Be interesting to see if this inning he can hold down the Pirates. Cub offense, not a whole lot doing, and Matt Clement's been terrific.
Now, one run has been more than enough for Matt to this point. Let's see how he fares, though, with the lower portion of the Pirate order coming up. First up, Randall Simon, then Bobby Hill, then Tyke Redmond. Pirates have just one hit. Clement has 5 strikeouts and is coming off a 4-pitch bottom half of the fourth.
Well, Randall loves to hit the first pitch, and he tried back in the second inning, but flew out to left field. Simon not going to get too many infield hits, so everybody back very deep all the way around in the infield.
That's inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Randall probably breathing a whole lot easier these days for when the Buccos go to Milwaukee. The young lady victimized in the sausage attack has retired.
She has indeed retired. Randall hastened at the end of what was a promising wiener career.
2 balls, no strikes.
No lawsuit to follow.
2-1.
Simon, a very affable fellow.
Not allowed to be blue if you're from Curacao.
That's true.
Dangerous pitch now from Clement. 3 balls and a strike. It's only a 1-run Cub lead tonight. There's a rope hit to right. Hollandsworth on the run. Can't get there. It'll 2-hop the wall. Simon's going to put on the brakes. And wisely so.
Randall's great speed came into play there. And what he is thanking the heavens that he didn't run to second. Hits his ball awfully hard at 3-1, and Randall takes off. But discretion is a better part of valor. He puts on the brakes, and that's not easy.
We needed one of those runaway truck lanes that we see when we come from the airport in Pittsburgh through the Fort Pitt Tunnel.
Oh, I'll tell you, Randall can hit. There's no doubt about that.
And a terrific guy, absolutely. right on target. Here's Bobby Hill. He flied to center. He chased Corey all the way back to the warning track. That ball carried a whole lot more than Corey expected. We're seeing maybe a little bit of Clement's fatigue show itself here.
That's what I talked about at the top, is that Matt Clement, who at times has been plagued with some asthmatic problems, spent a great deal of time on the base path last inning, dove back into the second base bag, and then hustled from second to third. So he started off with a base hit and a hit batsman. For Tyke Redmond, runners at first and second, nobody out.
Redmond has the lone, or has one of the 2 Pirate hits, and the only hit through 4 innings for them. 1-6-0 for the Cubs, who have left 6 men on base. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Redmond with terrific speed, bats from the left side here. Cubs think he might try to bunt. That one well off the plate, ball 1.
He got the first hit against Matt Clement, the first of only 2. Redmond is grounded into only 1 double play. With the pitcher due up next, I think you'd be doing the Cubs a favor by bunting with Redmond. But you still have to play Ramirez in.
Ramirez on the grass at third. Lee behind the runner at first, and out of play foul to Tyke Redmond.
Pirates put Humberto Cota on the disabled list by activating Simon, so they're a catcher short at this point. And you mentioned the meteoric rise through the Pirate system for Redmond, who came up to the big leagues last year. Now they're trying to adjust to him. He had a real good third of a season.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's off the plate, ball 2. 2-1 your count.
He's played in every Pirate game to this point. So he's been a pretty durable little bucko.
Side for a hit. Simon around third. He'll put on the brakes. And now the Pirates answer the Cubs. They have the bases loaded with nobody out.
I told you before the game that I thought that the toughest out of the game for Clement was going to be Tyke Redmond. Now we'll see if the Cubs send out Larry Rothschild to talk with Clement, find out how he's feeling, because this is a different Matt Clement than the guy that got through the first 4 innings. I think it has a little something to do with the base running, also maybe some lack of concentration, but Matt goes out to meet Larry Rothschild, wants to slow him down somewhat, and it might have taken a triple to score Randall Simon from second.
Even then, that's a big maybe.
He's a good guy, but he is a base clogger.
Well, now Wells a chance for the Pirates to at least tie this game. As Steve mentioned, he's a pretty good hitter, and Clement walked him last time up.
And they've got the infield in. They're not going to play all the way in the middle. They're still going to look for the second to first double play and a ground ball there, but they're in at the corners, and just like the Pirates did, if it goes first, third, or right back at Clement, they're coming home.
Clement will work off the stretch with nobody out, and the bag's full of Pirates, and that's as wild a wild pitch as you'll ever see. In from third comes Simon.
He actually threw that slider well behind Wells. Well, Bucko would have had to have been a rubber man to catch that one. Take a look at this, folks. This will make some highlight films. No, that's a real wild pitch. Wow, the Cubs almost got a break. That almost hit the bat of Wells.
And it would have been just a foul ball.
Or gone straight out at Clement. As it was, they tie it up.
So it's a 1-1 game. Hill to third, Redmond to second, and a 1-ball count to Wells, and that'll bring the Cub infield in. A different Matt Clement after that long stint on the base paths in the top half of this 5th inning. Pours that one through to even up the count.
Well, you can excuse Wells if he wasn't exactly digging in until he found if Matt Clement had located that control again.
I don't think I would either.
That one almost took the 3 and the 2 off his back.
Well, 2 balls and a strike.
Normally you would think about a suicide, but with nobody out, and you've got Kendall coming up, I think that would be playing into the hands of the Cubs. Now he's looking once again back at John Russell. Kip Wells has had some problems with the signals.
Two and one now. 2-2. Again, this is the only game in progress at the moment. All the other action underway within the next half hour on the East Coast. We'll keep an eye on Reds and Expos, Cardinals and Houston later.
I think the game plan is if you can strike out Wells on a slider, then you walk Kendall and take your chances that Wilson will ground into a double play. Like a pretty good pitch, and it was
right down the middle,
and it looked like it from here. I think the Pirates got a tremendous break. Watch it again. Not sure what was wrong with that. I mean, when he caught it, it was low, but it came over well above the knee level.
Now it's a full count. The fate of Kendall depends on this pitch, and it's right through there for strike 3 call. So first base open now, 1 out. Kendall up with runners at second and third.
I don't believe you can pitch to him here. You're not going to strike him out. And he struck out Wilson twice behind him. So let's see what Dusty has in mind. It's a 1-1 game. You do have an out. You are a double play away from getting out of it if you walk Kendall. Last time he had a long fly ball that would have played it a run.
Bobby Hill, the tie-breaking run, potentially 90 feet away. Kendall tonight is 0 for 2. No sign of a walk. Let's see if Clement can get Kendall here and keep this thing tied at 1. Ouch! Kendall gets hit. Second man of the inning to get plunked by Matt. Oh, if nothing else, it saves him 3 pitches. He hits Kendall with the first one. He got creamed.
It looked like he might have caught it off the elbow. He tried to get the pad up there. There's Wells. He's not going to get hit. We're going to show you eventually that Kendall does. I think he got it off the pad, to be honest with you. I think he's a very lucky man. And he's hit for the 5th time. So Larry Rothschild on the phone.
Well, you have the same scenario of which we spoke. Instead of walking Kendall, you hit him. And now you've got Jack Wilson up, who struck out twice. That almost hit him. Inside ball 1. How many DPs has he hit into?
He's grounded into 5 of them. And it's the same goatee, but a different Matt Clement. He's hanging sliders by the bucketful.
One ball, no strikes. He swung at ball 2.
Wilson was so excited to finally see a fastball that he swung at one well up and out of the zone. That ball was also 6-8 inches inside. Matt knows if he can get him to 2 strikes, he can wipe him out with a slider.
One ball, 1 strike. Over the outside corner.
Jimmy Anderson. That was a stereo Jimmy Anderson warming up in the pen. There he is. Cubs just called up 3 of them.
David Kelton, Jimmy Anderson, and Ordonez. With Todd Wellmeyer, Tom Goodwin to the DL, and Damian Jackson back down to the minor leagues. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wilson. Bags full, 1 out. This is a huge, huge at bat. And Buccos saved another run.
That was a good play by Paul Bacco. He shifted his weight, got in front of it, made sure that he smothered the hop and saved a run. Good effort by Paul. Outfield not overly deep and exactly straight away. They're playing him straight up in the infield and outfield.
I'm not a big stats maven, but I would love to see a category for runs saved by a catcher on plays like the one you just saw. They get credited for passed balls. They don't get credit for plays like the one that Bacco makes, or Mike Matheny, Michael Barrett, Brad Ausmus in our division on a seemingly daily basis.
Well, the credit that Mike Matheny has is he has the longest consecutive game streak without an error in the history of the game. But as far as runs saved, you don't get a lot, and this is a tough staff to handle. Clement does have 6 wild pitches this year, including 1 this inning.
He's hit a couple. He struck out 1. He's given up 2 hits and a run to tie the game for the Pirates. 2-2. Here's your count to Wilson. In the air to right field. That'll drop for a hit. Hill will score. Hollingsworth comes up clean. The throw to the plate is on target but late. And into third safely goes Kendall.
I can't believe it, but Hollingsworth just didn't get rid of the ball. I don't think he thought for a moment that Wells was going to run on him. If he had gotten the ball, thrown it home, he would have held him to third. Watch it. He gets the ball. Now watch. He just holds it. Takes a couple of big steps after bobbling it, but it's a good heads-up play by Redmond.
So the base hit by Jack Wilson gives him 18 RBIs. 3 runs are in for the Pirates. Darrell Ward in the batter's box, first and third, with only 1 man down. This Pittsburgh team, we told you, not one that's going to hit a ton of home runs. This Pirate team second in the National League in hits. They've spaced 3 of them very nicely here in the 5th inning around Clement's wildness.
Wilson has driven in 18 runs. And the Cubs trailing.
No balls and a strike. High fly ball toward right field. Playable for Hollingsworth. Kendall with good speed. There's the tag. Here comes the throw. Moving from first to second on the play is Wilson.
Got to hit the cutoff man on the throw. If he throws it so Derek Lee can cut it off, then you have a chance to throw out Wilson at second. As it turns out, you get the sacrifice, cost you a run, but just as importantly, you get Wilson in a scoring position. So it hasn't been the best of innings defensively for Hollingsworth, who did take his time because he juggled that single.
And he's shaking his head out there in right field. So 4 are in for the Pirates here in the 5th inning of play. Craig Wilson is 0 for 2. Again, a very dangerous Pirate hitter with 30 runs batted in.
That's really gotten under a lot of the sliders this inning. One of the reasons why he's hit a couple of guys. Has not been a real effective inning for him. Both teams in the same spot. The Pirates took advantage of it. The Cubs didn't. Bases loaded, nobody out.
We told you at the time that might be the big turnaround in the game, and sure enough it is. It seems like that happens a lot in this game. You get the bases loaded, score 1 or none. The other team comes back and puts 2 or 3 on the board. It's amazing. So an uphill climb now over the last half of the game for the Cubs, trailing now 4-1. 2 balls and a strike to Wilson.
One of the advantages the Cubs might have is that Kip Wells has used a lot of pitches to get through the first 5. He's averaged under 6 per start, so they're likely to see that Pirate pen as well as the Parrot.
Sharply hit the foul. You like the Parrot because he brought you a birthday cake in '98. That's the only reason.
And he's a tremendous dancer. I've seen him in a whole lot of the clubs here in Pittsburgh.
Are we back here in July? We can arrange for a Parrot Stone reunion if you want.
No, we're not back here till the end of the season.
At least it won't be rainy then. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-1. Pirates have taken the lead. Cincinnati by a half game over Houston in the Central. Cubs a game back. Milwaukee 2 back. Cardinals 2.5 back. These Pirates hanging in there 4.5 back. That's the Central Division stack at the moment. Here comes the 2-2 now. Another hit batsman. That's 3 in the inning.
First 4, Matt Clement had real good stuff. And running the bases in the 5th inning has absolutely taken everything out of him. And it'll be bye-bye, Matt. Hello, Jimmy Anderson.
I can't recall an inning where I've seen a starting pitcher hit 3 men in the same frame. That's exactly what's happened for Clement. And 4 runs have come across. 4-1 is your score. Into the pen go the Cubs here in game 1 of the double dip. Matt was magnificent through 4. He was forgettable here in the 5th. Back to Pittsburgh in a moment.
Rusty, I feel the need. Not right now. No, Rusty, I feel the need.
Girls, if you feel the need for speed, let's go to Chicagoland Speedway.
Here's your chance to see the stars of NASCAR, ARCA, and Indy racing. Feel the need for NASCAR July 10th and 11th. Feel the need for ARCA and Indy racing on September 11th and 12th. Act now to reserve your track pack to all the great racing action by calling 815-727-RACE or visit ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
Are you feeling the need?
Union piping professionals don't just make promises, they back them with proof.
Being a union contractor offers tremendous value.
The only protection we have as a union pipe fitter is a card in my pocket. And the only thing that protects that union, that card, is a job that works.
That's why we only use the skilled craftsmanship of union pipe fitters for our medical gas projects.
This is our pride. Pipe is our life.
The promise of professionalism in the piping industry with proof.
Fashions come and go, but one thing's always in style. Auto insurance from 21st Century, the one with the red seatbelt. Since 1958, 21st Century customers have gotten more for their money by dealing direct. New customers save an average of $300 a year. Hey, fashions change. Auto insurance this good never goes out of style. 21st Century, more features, less money. Since 1958. Call 21st Century Insurance Company at 1-800-211-SAVE.
Well, Jimmy Anderson is on now for the 111th time in the major leagues. Pirate fans remember him and greeted him rather forcefully when he strided in from the Cub bullpen. Forgettable 5th inning to this point. 4 Pittsburgh runs have scored. Matt Clement hits 3 men in the same inning.
And couples that with a wild pitch and 3 singles. It turns into a 4-1 Pittsburgh lead with 2 on and Jimmy Anderson coming in. The Pirates have batted around here in the 5th. Well, Anderson will face his former mates.
First time in Clement's career, by the way, he's hit 3 men in an inning. That's hard to do. But he lost it and lost it quickly, and it's surprising in one respect. He had a 4-pitch 4th inning led off the fifth with a walk and spent that entire time on the base paths, and frankly it wore him out. So Anderson to face Mackowiak here with 2 on, 2 away for the Pirates.
The men had hit 4 men all season coming into this game. That was in 60 innings.
Grounded foul by Mackowiak. It's 0-2. Closing it on 7 o'clock in game 1. Pirates trying to creep ever closer to the 500 mark. They have not played well here at home. They've lost 13 of 19.
They played very well on the road. But it's not surprising because this team really isn't built for this park.
Right.
This park is built for left-hand power. And the Pirates have very little power, but what they do is right-handed.
Down on strikes goes Mackowiak. Anderson comes on and strikes him out. But the damage is done. 4 Pirate runs come in. They do that on 3 hits and 3 hit batsmen and lead by 3.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Over 2,800 nonstop daily flights to 60 destinations all across the country. Buick, the spirit of American style. And by Rico. How well do you print, copy, scan, fax? How well do you share?
When we are dancing and you're dangerous, near me, I get ideas. I get ideas. And after we have kissed goodnight, still you linger.
Rico moves your ideas forward.
You get ideas too.
Take me fishing and show me how to drive the boat.
Take me fishing, so we'll always have something in common.
Take me fishing, because my wedding will be sooner than you think.
To learn more about boating and fishing, visit waterworkswonders.org.
Getting ready for your new GMC?
Honey, it's time.
Now until June 1st, get incredible offers on the only trucks and SUVs engineered to be professional grade. Get 1,000 Truck Fest bonus cash, plus 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers on select GMCs. Or get 5,000 total cash back on select GMCs. Only at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana GMC dealers.
Totally NASCAR. The only source that keeps you in tune with expert analysis, racing insights, and the latest reports from the winner's circle. Totally NASCAR. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Steve Sears invites you to meet Cubs third baseman Aramis Ramirez. He'll be appearing and signing autographs Thursday, June 3rd from 6 to 8 at the Sears Grand in Gurnee. Sears, the official hometown store of the Chicago Cubs.
Get me directions because I'd like to do that.
Fly ball off the bat of Todd Hollandsworth. 1 pitch, 1 out, takes care of him in our 6th inning of play.
Hollandsworth hit it hard, but right at their best outfield defender, Tyke Redmond. So I'm thinking, Chip, although it's only tying a major league record.
Don't think. It's a little dangerous when you do.
Hitting 3 men in an inning only ties a major league record. But I can't remember in the 1900s where a Cub pitcher did that. How far do you have to go back?
2 centuries.
2.
The immortal Walter Thornton.
Was that Walter Thunder Thornton?
Thunder Thornton.
He must have pitched in the 1800s.
AKA the Bruiser. He hit 3 men in an inning May 18th, 1898.
So it's been a while.
It's been a long time, but not long enough, quite frankly. We'll go on the baseball encyclopedia and see if we can find old Walter Thornton.
Been done 21 times, 14 in the National League, 7 in the American League. Yeah, I remember that inning. Walter ran the bases a lot.
Walter was a left-hander. Pitched with the Chicago National League Ball Club from 1895 to 1898.
And they let him go.
Terrible control. Drive deep to right field. That's going to be caught on the warning track. Derek Lee makes contact, but is 0 for 3. Walter Thornton, by the way, 23 and 18 with 40 complete games.
The year before?
No, this is total in his 4-year career. Started 48 games, completed 40 of them.
Yeah, but after he hit 3 guys, they let him go.
Yeah, the baseball insurance plan wasn't what it is now. They said, get him out of here before he hurts somebody.
Probably gave up that huge salary of $97 for the year.
Corey Patterson as the lone Cub RBI. Cub bats, I think, are starting to show the absence of Sammy Sosa and company. The Cubs have scored 4 runs in their last 31 2/3 innings.
Well, they had a pretty good shot at it last inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, but came away empty. Wells made some good pitches.
And that might have turned the game around for when he came up in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Pittsburghers were in business. And they played it 4 for him. By the way, that year that Thornton hit 3 guys in an inning, he hit 18 in total. Patterson's aboard with a 2-out walk. Let's see if Bucco can chase him around now. Second walk for Wells. Bucco's up, nobody out yet in the on-deck circle. That's the spot that would be occupied by Jimmy Anderson.
Well, nobody yet thrown in the bullpen. Now it appears that somebody's going to get up. As I would think in the 6th, if you got something going, you would like to take Anderson down. It's Francis Beltran. Looks like Jason Dubois in the on-deck circle.
Bucco skies it out of play, foul.
The place to hit it appears to be left or left center. That's where the sun might be plaguing the outfielders.
Pitch out, nothing happening. It stands to reason you'd think about putting Corey Patterson in play. But then pinch hit for Anderson if Bucco could reach. And Dubois in the on-deck circle. You might want to borrow Ronnie's son binoculars and see who's warming up out there.
It's Francis. I can tell by the delivery.
Those look like pretty good binoculars.
Very good. Sano does not know yet that we have pilfered them from his booth.
No, we didn't pilfer them. We're just borrowing them from the standard.
Oh,
big difference.
I see.
With those binoculars, you should. That's downstairs. Ball 3, 3-1.
I can see my folks' house in Cleveland with these binoculars. I don't think Ronnie misses him really. I'm not sure he's facing the field at this point anyway.
Ground ball toward first, and that'll take care of the Cubs in the 6th inning. No runs, a man left. Cubs have stranded 7 through 6, trailing 4-1.
The 260 horsepower supercharged Grand Prix Comp G. The new 275 horsepower GXP. And now, the 350 horsepower GTO. Pontiac, fuel for the soul.
Hey Cubs fans, with summer road construction, public transportation is a quick, convenient way to get you to the game. Take the train or bus, and the CTA takes you right to the gates of Wrigley Field. And remember, if you do drive, come early, enjoy batting practice, and take advantage of the early bird discount.
Check this out.
In recent tests, the all-new Mitsubishi Galant outperformed the Toyota Camry in acceleration and in braking. Now let's see how it stacks up against their free maintenance program. All right, they don't have one. Triple Diamond Days. This month only, get 3 years free scheduled maintenance when you lease an all-new Galant for just $239 a month for 36 months. And as always, get a 10-year warranty on a car you actually want to drive. Hurry, Mitsubishi's Triple Diamond Days end June 1st.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Well, that certainly is an interesting way to watch a game.
Those young whippersnappers. Actually, this is all Ronnie's equipment. Kind enough to let us borrow it. Very nice.
Oh, and just for the record, Ronnie's real happy over in the radio booth as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Randall Simon to work first. That ball, funny hop, but Ordonez hung with it. Good play at short. Wow, that's some kind of effort.
Well, Ordonez won Gold Gloves in '97, '98, and '99 with the Mets, and he got a terrible hop and was able to make the play. Good effort by Ray Ordonez. You're not going to have any problems defensively with Ray. Pretty good effort right there.
So Bobby Hill's coming up.
He'll turn around and hit right-handed for the first time.
Ramirez has to wait for gravity. Throw wide of the bag, and Lee fortunate to keep a tippy toe on the bag.
Well, what's fortunate about that is anytime you have to reach back into the runner, you run the risk of breaking that forearm.
That's what happened to Cliff Floyd when Todd Hundley ran into him several years ago.
And I remember a Hall of Famer that I came up with and played. Willie McCovey broke his forearm reaching into the runner, and the ball and the runner got there at the same time. So Derek Lee got a good break, and quickly 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Lefty-lefty matchup for Tyke Redmond. Don't forget, after our game, we'll have the Cubs post-game show. It'll also be the Cubs pre-game show as we have a doubleheader tonight. We'll have all the highlights, analysis, and previews of the second game of our double dip with the Pirates here on Fox Sports Net.
Redmond, the most unhappy guy in the ballpark to see Clement gone. He was 2 for 2 with a run scored.
4 hits, 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts for Matt, but he hit 3 batters all in the same inning. Good pickup by Lee. Anderson late to the bag, gets there in time, and it's 3 up, 3 down. Time for the bats to wake up for the Cubs. They're down 3 heading to the 7th.
This is it.
What is this?
Introducing the full-size 5.6-liter V8 Nissan Armada.
Where are we?
Share the adventure.
Hey, where's the salsa? Behind the Heineken.
Get 2 free downloads from Reel with every specially marked 12-pack of Heineken. No purchase required. See store display or Heineken.com for details. While supplies last.
It's the final days of Chevy Truck Fest. Hurry, because it's all over soon. Now get the unprecedented Truck Fest offer. $1,000 bonus cash plus 0% APR for 60 months. Or get a specially equipped Silverado half-ton extended cab LS with available option packages and get a $2,000 discount. Combine the discount with current offers for a $5,500 total value. Chevy Truck Fest. A great time to get to your Chevy dealer. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
There's something special in the air on the best damn sports show, period.
Please welcome Shaquille O'Neal, Samuel L. Jackson.
On the best damn sports show, period. Tonight on Fox Sports Net.
It's 4-1 Pittsburgh, Steve. The Cubs had a chance with the bases loaded to really have a big inning. Then it all came unglued for Matt Clement in the Pirates half of the 5th.
This one just one of the worst innings that Matt has had in an otherwise great year. Pirates took advantage of just about everything. Good base running. 3 guys hit. That ties a major league record, and Dusty had to go get Clement. So the Cubs trailing 4-1. They'll send David Kelton, just recalled from AAA, to look at Kip Wells for the first time, and Kelton hit the ball pretty well at Iowa.
.294 with 7 homers and 30 driven in. So you might be looking, at least as far as the 25-man roster is concerned, at a portion of the Cubs' future outfield, perhaps, in Du Bois and Kelton.
Jimmy Anderson did a real nice job. Pitched an inning and a third of perfect baseball to keep the Pirates at bay before he'll turn it over to Francis Beltran.
That in for a strike. It's 0-2 to David Kelton. Things were going along just splendidly after 4. And 3 pitches and Kelton's retired. 1 up, 1 down. 4 strikeouts for Wells.
Wells was a little shaky in the 4th. Started out terribly in the 5th, but made his best pitch of the ball game on an inside fastball to a Lou. Got out of that 5th inning, and he's been in command since then. But Todd Walker's had a good night.
Todd's 2 out of 3 with 2 singles. By the way, one of the Pirates has kind of a lonely job up there in left field. Where it says Kennemetal, they've got the K scoreboard. Waited a long time to put 4 strikeouts up there for Wells tonight. That pulled foul, almost picked off Gene Kleins, the Cub first base coach.
Well, I think he realizes that by allowing the Cubs to get themselves out early in the count, throwing the ball around home plate, you limit your strikeouts, but you go deeper into the ball game, which has been one of his big problems.
And we saw earlier in this ball game, he's got an arm that's capable of throwing a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Coming in, he fanned 49 and 51 in the 3rd. Anytime you get around an average of 9 a game, you've got terrific stuff.
2 balls and a strike. That's back to the screen. How tough is it, though? Again, when you first started your professional career, you, slight of build, had a big fastball. Wells has put together pretty well out there. How hard was it for you to learn not have to throw the ball past everybody, but just let him get outs?
Well, he's not a rookie anymore. I mean, he came up in '99. He's been around a while. It's the art of pitching as opposed to throwing. He's got good enough stuff to be a big winner. And a lot of people believe that if they do indeed move Benson, Kip Wells could be their #1 for a long time here.
Well, he has been against the Cubs. He's undefeated, 3-0 against our ball club. 3-2 is your count to Walker. And Todd draws a walk. So Cubs trying to make some noise in the 7th. It's 4-1 Pirates. And Ordonez coming up.
Last year on a real bad Pittsburgh team, Wells was 10-9 with a .328 ERA. He's won in double figures the last 3 years. So for a guy that just turned 27 and should be coming into his prime, these are pretty decent numbers.
Let's see if Ray can tally a hit here tonight. He's been on base twice. Once with a sacrifice fielder's choice, one on a straight up fielder's choice. They're just underway in Montreal. Reds and Expos open up a series at Olympic Stadium tonight. Corey Lytle against Claudio Vargas. Roger Clemens takes the mound for Houston at home. He's 7-0. Chris Carpenter 5-1 for St. Louis.
Pretty good matchup.
2 strikes the count to Ordonez. Little pop up on the infield. Randall Simon comes charging in, and foul ground puts that away for the 2nd out. And here's Moises Alou. He had the critical at bat in the ball game, and unfortunately hit into a double play.
Wells has yet to complete a game, and with the pitches starting to pile up, certainly for Lloyd McClendon, Kip Wells has taken him just exactly where he wanted to go in the first game of a doubleheader, and that's deep into the game.
Over but low to Moises Alou. 1 ball, no strikes. Folks might forget, but Moises Alou was a Pittsburgh Pirate. His first taste of Major League action came with the Pirates in 1990. They then traded him to Montreal in a deal that sent Zane Smith, a left-handed starter, to the Expos. Or to the Pirates, I beg your pardon.
A lot of folks forget, but it was a big turn at first base with Alou putting on the brakes where he shattered his ankle. And when he came into the major leagues from the right side, he was just about as fast as anybody.
1 ball, 1 strike. That, I think, was the 1991 scenario when he was with Montreal when he fractured that ankle so horribly.
Well, he came in with as good a credentials coming out of the minor leagues as just about anybody. They thought that he was one of the top prospects in baseball, and it turned out that he's a lifetime 300 hitter, so he's hit in this league for a long time.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Driven out of play, foul. In fact, Alou was the 2nd pick overall in 1986 by the Pirates. Missed a whole season as well in 1999 with the Astros. He blew out his knee in preparation for the season, working out at his home in the Dominican Republic. One ball, 2 strikes. That's foul off the tarp. Sun now dipping below the horizon here in Pittsburgh. No shadows of which to speak on the field of play. So from the hitter's perspective, they ought to be able to see the spin on the baseball a lot better. Unfortunately, Wells is not cooperating. He hasn't hung anything of late.
Well, the Pittsburghers took a gamble on Jose Mesa, and it's turned into gold. He's 13 for 13 in saves.
Kendall couldn't hang on. They had Alou fanned, but just enough to deflect it off the body of Jason Kendall.
This is the kind of game where you figure to see Mesa, who over the course of his association with the Philadelphia Phillies was booed at various times, but this year with an 0.89 ERA in 20 appearances, he's been close to letter perfect for the Pirates.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wells bends at the knees. He wanted that pitch. He'll have to make another, however.
That was off the corner. Good call by Tim Welke.
The 2-2. No swing. Full count. Walker will be off to the races now.
Got a couple of the vacation umpires here tonight. Jack Samuels at second, and the man making that call, Darren Spagnardi. What do you think, Darren? Nope. Didn't swing.
It's got to be a thrill for those guys to see Major League action. And the crew tonight's done a fine job. Runner goes, pitch rifled into center field. Walker will make it to third base. So the Cubs bring the tying run to the plate again with 2 outs.
There's still time in this one. As Moises takes it right back up the middle. That one drifted up and out over the plate. And a man who's really done some damage against his former mates, representing the tying run. And the bullpen now springs to work for the Buccos.
Ramirez has 5 hits. coming into this series against his former team. Of those 5 hits, 3 of them have left the ballpark.
Mike Johnston throwing in the pen.
He's a real remarkable story. Young man battling Tourette's syndrome to pitch in the major leagues. Veteran fans might remember Jim Eisenreich, the same affliction. And played very long and very well. The Twins, the Phillies, with Tourette's syndrome. No balls and a strike.
Wells,
that's low.
Wells has given up a home run once every 10 innings. So if this is the 10th inning, the Cubs have a chance to tie it up. And look at those lofty numbers against his former mates. 6 homers, 13 driven in 12 games.
A big fly here would tie it up. Low again, ball 2. You know, Hollingsworth would love a chance to atone for missing the cutoff man earlier in right field.
Well, one way or the other, Wells is not going to face Hollingsworth. It seems to me like he might be running out of gas. It'd be nice for the Cubs to jump on him before he departs.
2 balls and a strike. He didn't offer it that one either. It's 3-1.
If Johnston isn't ready and he doesn't get out Ramirez, they'll send somebody to the mound. If not, they'll just go get Wells, I do believe.
The bags are full with 2 outs. That's the 4th walk. And now Kendall is going to go to the mound. And one would think Lloyd McClendon would shortly follow.
Well, they're going to kill as much time as Tim Welke will give him. Last time up, Hollingsworth hit a ball right on the button to lead off the 6th inning. And now the stakes a little bit higher because the bases full of Cubs with a tying run at first. It looks like Lloyd McClendon is going to get into some character building with Kip Wells. Now they're sending in Jack Wilson. And here comes Lloyd.
I was going to say, yeah, the righty-lefty matchup certainly would be one the Cubs would not mind seeing here with a fading Wells and the left hand hitting Hollingsworth. So McClendon out to talk with Tim Welke. Johnston's going to come into the game. Let's see if the Pirates employ a double switch. The pitcher spot for them is due first when Pittsburgh comes up in their half of this 7th inning. It's 4-1. Pirates have the lead. The game on the base paths for the Cubs. They're loaded with 2 outs and will return right after this.
Comcast is working hard, so you won't miss a moment. We're working hard to bring you crystal clear pictures with digital cable. We're working hard to bring you high-speed cable internet. And at Comcast, our promise is to continue bringing new technologies home to you first, to keep you in touch, informed, and in sync with everything you need to stay connected now and in the future, all from one single source, Comcast.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, we have that insurance. What insurance? What? Huh? Come again? The one that pays you cash. So if you're hurt and can't work. Which one?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
The all-new Dodge Durango's making it to the top of a lot of lists. It came in first in a car and driver full-size SUV comparison test. It received 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. And since it's roomier and more powerful than Explorer or Trailblazer, lots of American families are making Durango their first choice. See your Dodge dealer and put the all-new Durango at the top of your list, too.
Qualified buyers who finance through Chrysler Financial get an additional $1,000 along with $3,500 cash allowance or 0% financing.
Abraham Nunez takes over at second base for the Pirates. He'll bat 9th in the order for Pittsburgh, which will be first when the bottom half of the inning comes up. And a real inspirational story. Mike Johnston making the jump from Double-A to the big leagues and battling Tourette syndrome as well, faces the Cubs tonight.
He's had a great year. The ERA at 1.32, on for the 15th time. He comes into this one with no room for error. Michael Barrett is going to come on and bat for Todd Hollingsworth. Barrett figures to catch the second game. In fact, it was a combination of Graybo and Johnston, both up from Double-A. They both made the team out of spring training. They were both long shots when spring started, but they had such a good run at it that they revamped the left-handed side of their bullpen.
So Michael Barrett's going to bat here for Hollingsworth. And the story of Johnston, one that's worth telling. Diagnosed with Tourette syndrome around the age of 10. It's a disease where, or an affliction, I guess, characterized by nervous tics and sometimes uncontrolled vocal utterances. It got so bad for Johnston while he was in high school, he dropped out as a sophomore, went to work at a local department store, then was working at the Philadelphia airport stacking newspapers in the vending machines there while pitching in a semi-pro baseball league. The Cardinals had a scout, Darrell Hicksonbaugh, who saw him pitch in rural Maryland, and here he is in the big leagues with the Pirates. Bags full of Cubs.
And Michael Barrett's first shot at pinch hitting this year.
Did he go? Yes, sir. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Michael didn't think much of that.
Well, base hit here will get him above 300 and get the Cubs a little closer in this one. Solomon Torres loosening in the pen.
One ball, 2 strikes. Four to 1, the Pirates clinging to their lead. In the air, foul and out of play. Barrett stays alive here.
Chuck Tanner and Jim Leland. A couple of guys with a few things in common. One of them is they both manage the Pirates. Chuck has a world championship. So does Jim, only Jim got his with the Florida Marlins.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Barrett. Fly ball hammered left center field, pretty deep. Can anybody get there? Redmond at the track, at the wall. It's gone! A grand slam off the bench for Barrett. And the Cubs have turned the game around 5-4.
Got one up and out over the plate, and Barrett hits his 8th home run. He's driven in 26. His first opportunity to pinch hit, and it turns into goal. The Cubs up by 1. Clement can't lose. Wells can't win. And the game now in the hands of the pen.
A pinch hit grand slam here in the 7th inning. It's a 5-4 Cub lead, and this crowd in Pittsburgh stunned. Two balls and a strike.
Michael Barrett knows he got a real good shot at this. It's the first career grand slam for Barrett. It comes at a terrific time for the Cubs.
Derek Lee, a slow roller hit toward third. The toss across is in time. A grand slam by Michael Barrett in the 7th inning. Off the bench, the Cubs with 4 pinch hit homers this year have taken a 1-run lead.
maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop from Chicago Midway to Manchester or Providence for just $79 each way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Every day, Chicago drivers are making a smart decision. They're switching to 21st Century for auto insurance, the one with the red seatbelt. Thanks to over 1,000 trained professionals, 4 out of 5 customers rate our claim service outstanding. And thanks to human nature, 5 out of 5 like the average savings of $300 a year. 21st Century. More features, less money. Since 1958. Call 21st Century Insurance Company at 1-800-211-SAVE.
When it starts showing up in video games, don't let the needle-pushing T5 Turbo performance mess with your mind. It's still built like a Volvo. Introducing the all-new Volvo S40.
The Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation going to and from Cubs games, and the CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For night and weekend games, fans who choose to drive should take advantage of remote parking and free shuttle buses available at DeVry
Institute.
Nope.
Now University.
That's exactly right. Near Addison and Western for $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com. Catch your breath, Cubs fans. A pinch hit grand slam by Michael Barrett. The last Cub to do that, Julio Zuleta 3 seasons ago. And now it's a 1-run Cub advantage heading now to the Pirates, half of inning number 7.
New battery for the Cubs. Francis Beltran comes in. Michael Barrett stays in behind the plate. David Kelton stays in right field. So there's the hero of the hour for the Cubs, Michael Barrett. And Jimmy Anderson could win this one if the Cubs can get 9 more.
Abraham Nunez, the first out of the chute for the Pirates now. Then Kendall, then Wilson. 5-4 Cub lead now. And a fastball off the plate for ball 1.
Real good job by Jimmy Anderson, and this is his first Cub appearance of the year. He had a good spring. And this one could turn into gold for him.
What a lift Glendon Rush and Anderson could give the Cubs in the last 7 days. You remember Rush beat the Cardinals last time out. And the 2 left-handers who are reclamation projects this spring have a chance to combine for 3 wins already. In the absence of Wood and Pryor, who, by the way, is going to throw on Sunday for Iowa when they take on Oklahoma City.
And if it's an uneventful performance and he feels real good, they can stretch him out to maybe 75, 80 pitches. That might be it.
Well, that's a strike to Nunez. If there's any question at all, there is a chance of 2 AAA starts. If not, then you're looking at Pryor.
Maybe as early as the 4th of June.
Against these Pirates back in Chicago. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nunez. Rolled foul at first and out of play. Rusty Kuntz watches that one dance by. So Wells can't win it, can't lose it. Clement off the hook. Johnston, the pitcher of record for the Pirates.
Wells went 6 2/3 and was charged with 4 runs on 7 hits. Got to the 117 pitch mark.
Little fly ball, center field. Patterson frozen for a moment, but he makes the grab, and Nunez is out number 1. Here's Jason Kendall. He's hitless in 2 tries. He's been hit by a pitch once. And the Gateway Clipper Fleet Majestic. Paddle wheelers floating by under the Clementi Bridge in center field here in Pittsburgh. What a beautiful vista our perch is here at PNC Park. That's high to the Pirate catcher and leadoff man, Jason Kendall.
What a lift this game would give the Cubs if they can subdue the Pirates in a real good shot at sweeping them. The Pirates would have to be reeled down after seemingly having this one well in hand.
Popped up right side, but twisting over the Cub dugout and into the seats. Game 2 will follow. Glendon Rush and Oliver Perez.
Rusty Baker pushing the right buttons, took down Hollingsworth, put Barrett in. He'll catch the second game, but he put him in just at the right time for the Cubs in the first.
And good news from Montreal, of which we'll speak in a moment. Ground ball to Ramirez at third. Kendall is out number 2. Montreal's gotten 2 in the first off Cincinnati. Corey Lytle is the starter for Cincinnati in game 1 of that series tonight. The Reds lead our division by a scant half game.
And there's only 2 losses separating the entire division. Pittsburgh has lost 22. Cincinnati, Houston, and the Cubs have lost 20. So a bunched up division really is played into the Cubs' hands as they try to tread water until they get all of the walking wounded back.
Another roller, broken bat. Ramirez deflects it. If he lets it go, they might have a shot at Wilson. Instead, it's off his glove and into short left field. And Wilson has an infield hit.
Two for 4 for Jack Wilson, and you're taught get everything you can. It would have been a bang-bang play at first if Ramirez doesn't get it. Instead, now you have to face Ward, and here comes Dusty. And it would appear there goes Francis.
So it will be Mike Remlinger coming in now. So Remlinger to face Ward. 1 on, 2 outs. A 1-run Cub lead. 5-4 in the 7th.
Don't buy another SUV before you check out the Hyundai Santa Fe. Inside, tons of space and lots of standard features, all for $4,400 less than a Toyota Highlander when comparably equipped. And outside, great looks powered by an available 3.5-liter V6 with reliability backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. The Hyundai Santa Fe starting at just $17,584 with utility package. With Hyundai, you win. During our Memorial Day savings event, get $1,500 cash back or 0% APR.
I was tired of dial-up, just sitting here waiting for the internet to load. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I went online and signed up for SBC Yahoo DSL. It's super fast, and it's only $26.95 a month. Plus, I also got SBC Home Networking for a one-time fee of just $50. Now I've connected our PCs wirelessly, and we can all be on the internet at the same time. This deal won't be around for long, so get on it.
Get SBC Yahoo DSL for just $26.95 a month when you sign up online and connect 2 or more computers for just $50.
There's only one. Only one is the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Only one is the best-selling vehicle in the world for 22 years running. The new F-150 is the one. And only one is the best-selling compact pickup 17 years running. Ranger is the one. And your local Ford store is the only one with F-150 and Ranger, the toughest trucks on the road. Get $2,500 to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing on Chicago's best-selling trucks. Ford Ranger and Ford F-150. Ford, the one and only.
Steve, let's take a look at a most intriguing Buick opinion poll tonight. Which Wilson will have the best season? You know about Jack and Craig of the Pirates. Paul Wilson's won 9 straight going back to last year for Cincinnati.
And you do know one thing. You like your Wilsons active. Preston isn't.
So those of you who care to vote, you may want to vote wisely and not pick Preston Wilson, who is shelved with leg problems, or Colorado. Mike Remlinger on for game number 2 tonight.
And this will be an interesting head-to-head confrontation because Mike usually has better luck with the right-handers. And Darrell Ward's 2 for 2 against them lifetime.
Jack Wilson at first with the second of his 2 hits. Remlinger protecting a 1-run Cub lead. And that's high and tight to Ward. 1 ball, no strikes.
Bullpen still up and going for the Cubs.
Looks like Latoya Hawkins out there.
Say, if I still had Ronnie's binoculars, I could tell immediately.
It's very selfish of him to come back and get him. 1 ball, no strikes. That's in at Benitez over the inside corner.
Well, they don't figure that Ward is going to pull Remlinger. There's Latoya Hawkins. Kelton is really shallow in right field for a guy that's got pretty good power.
One ball, 1 strike. Now it's 1-2.
Hard to believe that in the history of this game, which dates back well over 130 years, that no father and son had ever hit for the cycle until Gary and Darrell Ward.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up and out of play. You can understand to a certain degree the early 1900s, the so-called dead ball era. You had the huge ballparks. It was a lot easier to get the doubles and triples. Nowadays, it's a lot harder to get the triples and much easier to hit the home runs. 1 ball, 2 strike, you count. It's inside, 2-2.
Patterson is playing Ward as an off-field hitter. And there's a career of Mike Remlinger, and it's been a good one. He's coming back from shoulder surgery. It's just his 2nd appearance of the year.
Now the 2-2. Off his thumbs and out of play. How much latitude does Dusty allow Remlinger here? You've got the right hand hitting Wilson up after Ward if he reaches.
I would think 1 latitude. And then you bring in Hawkins. If he doesn't get Ward, that's why this is such a big at bat.
Cubs about hit the Pirates 8-5 and lead them 5-4 on a Michael Barrett pinch hit grand slam. Here comes the 2-2 now. Off his thumbs and straight back.
Pretty good battle between Remlinger and Ward. You'd just as soon see Craig Wilson leading off the 8th. He's in the on-deck circle.
A little cue ball hit toward third. You still have time. Ward doesn't run well, and now they've got the man in a rundown. How about Wilson? Got a little greedy, and the Cubs should run him down, and they do. How about that play? It trickled away from Ramirez. Remlinger chased it down, and Wilson runs into the 3rd out of the 7th inning. Merry Christmas, and the Cubs go to the 8th with the lead.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Cadillac, bold vehicles defying convention. Robert Morris College, where dreams find direction. And by Nissan, who invite you to shift the way you move through the world.
I said, a little honey bunny, tell me what you're 20. I got my rabbit ears on and I wanna get chummy chummy.
Over 8 million drivers feel really good riding with Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Thomas Schmidt. It's tough being the first one of my college friends to get a job. We like to talk a lot.
Guess how many cookies I have in my mouth?
6. That's why we all joined in.
Join in and make free calls to any Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any plan minutes from our national in coverage area.
Bring home toilet paper.
Is your group in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Where can Buick Rendezvous take you? How does it fit your life? It'll take you from the beach to Chicago's Broadway. Sensationally economical, Rendezvous sips gas and gets you there in luxury. Right now, you can lease a well-equipped CX for around $279 a month. Call for details. Or, after $5,000 total cash back, Rendezvous can be yours, starting at around $20,000. At your Buick dealer now.
Cubs fans, enjoy a drink with your friends before, during, or after the game at the Friendly Confines. Near the corner of Addison and Sheffield, the Friendly Confines offers easy access in and out of the game. Enjoy Cubs ambience inside or order from the grill and relax in the outdoor patio.
Pittsburgh runs out of a chance to tie the game in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Cubs looking for some insurance. Patterson rolls that to Randall. Good pickup. Flip and not in time. Patterson beats it out.
Real bad throw by Simon. It's a good pickup, but he's got to put something on the throw. He floated it to first. Good heads-up play by Corey Patterson. He ran it out all the way, and that little looping throw, not a real good idea with a guy that can get down the line like Corey Patterson. This half is good. That half is terrible.
Here's Jason DuBois. He'll bat for Remlinger here, and Lloyd McClendon on his way out. So it's been a rough outing for Johnston. He surrenders the pinch hit grand slam to Barrett. Now an infield hit to Corey Patterson. And the Buccos apparently will go to the bullpen now, trailing by a 5-4 score here at PNC Park.
"16-inch softball is a Chicago institution, and Danley is a Chicago institution. Deep dish pizza is a Chicago institution. Chicago institution. Since 1959, it's Danley's Garage World for the finest garages. Now you can own a Danley and get $1,000 off if you call now. 773 Garages. Call 773 Garages and get $1,000 off any new Danley. Danley, truly a Chicago institution.
Danley's Garage World. Danley.
Depend on Danley.
There's only one. Only one minivan has the most advanced safety system. Only one minivan has a flip-fold third-row bench. Only one minivan has so much to offer with Ford's available safety canopy system covering all 3 rows of seats. Ford's adjustable brake and gas pedals, and Ford's family entertainment system. Freestar is the one. Now get an all-new Freestar with 0% financing for 60 months or $4,000 cash back plus get an extra $1,000 when financed through Ford Credit. Ford, the one and only.
This just in, 8664.
Feltco.
Call 866-4FEL DCO.
If you're a candidate for new windows, call Feltco.
Call 866-4FELTCO.
Feltco replacement windows stand for top quality at a low factory direct price.
Over 100,000 Chicagoland customers have chosen Feltco. Make the right call today.
Call 866-4FELTCO.
Here's our Chicagoland Speedway upcoming Cubs schedule. 1 more tonight, 2 more with the Pirates, May 29th and 30th. Then back home. We'll start the rough month of June schedule-wise with 3 against the Houston Astros. Then the Pittsburgh Pirates come in June 4th, June 5th, and June the 6th.
Ryan Meadows comes into this one on for the 18th time. He's a sinker baller, low ERA. But by bringing in the right-hander to combat Jason DuBois, who's pinch hitting here in the 8th, you set up the stolen base by Corey Patterson. He stole one in the 4th. He's undoubtedly going to go early in the count here to stay out of the double play. And the Cubs looking for some insurance as the Pirates are showing their last placeness here in the latter stages of the game because they've made a couple of real bad plays, notably the base running play by Jack Wilson and the defensive play by Randall Simon.
Patterson times back safely in at first. 5-4. Cubs have the lead. By the way, the play of which Steve speaks. Credit Ward with an infield hit in the 7th inning. Wilson trying to go from first to third was out 5-1-6-4, and that ended the Pittsburgh 7th. Runner goes. The pitch high. The throw to second is in time. Patterson still hasn't gotten to the bag.
Well, it looked like he might have beaten the play, but even if he had, He tripped over the tag of Nunez and then went flying to the shortstop position. What happened was he blocked him off the bag with his leg. The one thing, if you know a guy has a habit of doing that, you slide in with your spikes, not with a bent front leg, and you tear up the second baseman. It worked that time, however.
Du Bois swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that is one of the unspoken facets of the game. Just like when a player goes in high and hard at second base, if you're the man making the turn, throw it right at his forehead to get him down.
Well, I think Corey was real surprised because he did slide feet first, and still Nunez blocked him off the bag. Good way to spend some time on the disabled list if you're Abraham Nunez. But again, it worked in that situation. It's something that you store in your mind the next time Nunez takes a throw at second.
So Johnston's line is complete. A third of an inning. 1 run, 1 hit. That hit the Barrett pinch hit grand slam. Beg your pardon, 2 hits for Johnston and 1 earned run. So Du Bois, the batter, with a 2-2 count, facing Brian Meadows in the 8th. Broken back. 2 down. We're seeing a lot of bats continue to shatter around the major leagues.
That's thin handles where you really want to get a whole lot of whip in the swing, and most of the weight is in the barrel of the bat. If you don't hit it squarely, the bat just disintegrates.
That'll bring up David Kelton. He struck out an inning ago. No balls, 1 strike. The Cubs trying to snap a dubious streak. Following an off day, this team's just 1-5 this year.
They can get to 3-5
if they sweep the DH.
Last time they swept the doubleheader from this Pittsburgh team, you might remember, a celebration ensued.
That was the Central Division clinching games at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Meadows restores order in the 8th. Cubs 5, Pirates 4.
The 7-passenger, electronic 4-wheel drive Acura MDX. Power and safety, living in perfect harmony.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, we have that insurance. What insurance? Finland! What? Come again? The one that pays you cash. If you're hurt and can't work. Which one?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
I'm Max from New York with Max Kellerman. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Time now for a Cadillac in-game update. I'm Gail Fisher inside the Fox Sports Net newsroom. Houston Astros pitcher Andy Pettitte will miss his scheduled start against the Cubs on Tuesday to give his strained forearm more time to heal. The team says that Pettitte should be ready for his next turn June 7th at Seattle. If you remember, the lefty hurt his forearm while pitching in the 4th inning of Wednesday night's game against the Cubs. He will return later on. This is the second time that he has missed or has hurt his pitching arm. Chip and Steve, back to you.
You're right, Gail. He had a cortisone injection in the elbow earlier this year for that Houston ball club, and they have to be concerned about his health as they get ready to enter the month of June. Where would the Astros be without Pettit and Clemens running their records to an 11-1 mark combined?
Well, the Cubs probably feel the same way about the work of Latoya Hawkins out of the bullpen as he takes over in the 8th and looks in at Craig Wilson.
Wilson is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch tonight after tormenting the Cubs earlier this season. The Cubs the last couple of times around have been able to tame his potent right-handed bat.
They've been keeping the ball away, especially away with sliders and curveballs.
No balls and a strike. You've said many a time to a right-hand hitter, pitch him away late if a home run can tie you or beat you. Is that the same principle with right field being the close porch here in Pittsburgh?
I think it's the same philosophy. Is when a home run can beat you, make a guy hit it to the opposite field.
He does hit it to the opposite field. The grass gobbles it up. Todd Walker throws out Wilson, who's 0 for 3. 1 out in the 8th.
And Latoya has been just terrific this year. His control has been almost flawless. He's been able to throw it exactly where whoever's catching him wants it. That time he kept the ball away from Wilson, forced him to hit it to the right side, got the ground ball out. Now Mackowiak is a home run threat, surprisingly, so same thing holds true.
He's hit 8 of them.
He's also a base running threat for them.
He's a good little player for the Pirates. And Hawkins misses downstairs with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 ball, no strikes.
The job of setup man has been equally as important in modern day baseball as the job of the closer. Because if the setup man doesn't do it, the closer doesn't come into play.
Ground ball again to Walker. He'll backhand from the center field grass. Lee strong and long enough to snare that toss. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th.
Derek Lee needed all 6'5.5" of his reach to grab that one. So quickly 2 up, 2 down. Now with Randall, you never quite know what he's going to swing at or where it's going to go when it leaves the bat.
You know what he's going to swing at. If it's in the same area code, he's going to swing at it. So let's see what Hawkins has in mind with 2 outs, backs clear. He swings and bounces it through the vacant hole on the left side. They gave him that spot and he bounced it through.
Well, now they've got a pinch run for him. I don't know who they have on the bench, but that's the tying run. Jason Bay's going to hit. Let's see if they take down Randall, who does have a couple of hits. Randall's a good hitter. There's no doubt about that. But I got to believe that they're going to.
Is that Castillo?
Yes.
So Castillo pinch runs here in the 8th, and Jason Bay, who missed the first month of the season or so with shoulder surgery, is going to come on. He had Oliver Perez came over in the Brian Giles trade. You might remember Bay had a huge game, hit a couple of home runs against Carlos Zambrano here last year.
Well, he can hit fastballs middle in. What the Cubs found out too late for that particular game was he has a lot of problems with any kind of breaking ball away. He's hitting .326, but 0 for 2 is a pinch hit.
That one gets away. And now Castillo in scoring position with 2 outs. Now it only needs a single perhaps to tie the game.
Completely changes the at-bat. And I think that's going to be a pass ball. We'll take a look at it. That ball didn't hit the dirt. Barrett wanted it away, and that ball drifted inside. They do charge him with a pass ball.
So 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Bay. Bay, like Larry Walker, a product of British Columbia. And that's yanked foul.
He hit a grand slam in that game against Zambrano, I believe.
That was September 19th, and it was also in game 1 of a doubleheader. He drove in 8 that day against Carlos.
That's a good month.
Grand slam in the second, a 2-run homer in the fourth, and a 2-run double in the fifth. But that was last year. Here it's a 1-1 count to him. One more and we'll head to the top half of the ninth.
You'd love to keep it away from Bay in this situation. Pirates believe that Jason Bay is going to be an everyday outfielder for them at one point. Getting off the bench is a tough job, however.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Grounded towards short. Cubs ought to be out of it. Ordonez. Nice fundamental pickup at shortstop. Retires the side. To the ninth we go. Hawkins, a 5 innings worth of work. Let's see if the Cubs can get some ninth inning insurance next.
Think it's impossible to paint plastic? Think again. Krylon Fusion is the revolutionary paint that actually bonds to plastic on a molecular level. Without any sanding or priming, its unique formula provides a smooth, professional finish that won't flake off. Krylon Fusion, the no-prep super bond paint for plastic.
Cubs World Series tickets.
$20.
I give up my life savings. $1,000.
My cat.
My condo. My car. My mom. My 401k.
My brother. My sister.
I have 2 kidneys. I would give you them.
Seeing the Cubs in the World Series?
Oh man, it's priceless.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted wherever there's hope.
It's Toyota's nationwide sales drive at your Toyota dealer, featuring a winning truck selection, industry-leading quality, and outstanding values, including the Champion Performer full-size Tundra. Now, during this big event, get 0% financing for 36 months or $1,000 customer cash on the powerful Tundra, the truck named Best Overall Value of the Year. The race is on. Don't miss this event. Toyota's nationwide sales drive at your Toyota dealer now.
This exciting Cubs finish is brought to you by New Finish, the once-a-year car polish.
History tonight on the bad side of the ledger for Matt Clement. He hits 3 men in the same inning.
And it led to 4 runs. That's our Midas pitch sequence. But so far the Cubs have the best of it. As a grand slam pinch home run by Michael Barrett has given the Cubs a 1-run lead. Solomon Torres comes into the game for the 24th time. They've changed the defense with Jason Bay staying in the game in left field. Craig Wilson shifts from left to right. Darrell Ward comes in to play first base. And there is the pinch grand salami. The first time the Cubs have done that since Julio Zuleta back in 2001, and the first time it's happened to the Pirates since 1996.
Well, let's see if the top of the Cub order against Solomon Torres can add to their 1-run lead. It's Walker, Ordonez, then Alou. 5-4, Cubs are leading in game 1 of this doubleheader. That's in for a strike. Good day leading off for Todd tonight. 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored in 4 plate appearances.
Well, he continues at the top of the order to be a real good on-base percentage guy for the Cubs.
That one hit toward third. Mackowiak surrounds it and makes the throw to first in time. Good play for out number 1.
Walker up over 370 on base percentage. It turned out to be a real good play.
Here's Ray Ordonez. He's reached twice on fielder's choices.
I still remember that high tight fastball that Solomon Torres hit Sammy Sosa in the head.
Popped up left side and into the seats. Yeah, I've never seen a major league batting helmet
just
shatter like that. I mean, it was just a horrific sequence here in Pittsburgh last year.
Well, if you remember, it was a day game. The light, it was very bright, and I don't think Sammy saw the ball because he never reacted to it.
No balls and a strike to Ordonez. I think that was Easter Sunday, wasn't it? And Sammy, frankly, lucky to miss just a couple of days with that particular play. That could have been not just a horrific play, but a horrific tragedy. It's just one that got away from Torres. 2 strikes to Ordonez. Bases clear, 1 out. That's inside. Reds have taken a 3-2 lead over Montreal. Steve, Sean Casey, the leading hitter in the National League. 2 more hits tonight, including a home run for the Reds as they play in the 3rd inning in Montreal.
We said if that lineup stays together healthy, it can produce a lot of offense, but they're getting some surprising pitching.
It might go hand in hand. If they score 6 a game, it's going to make even so-called average or mediocre pitching look a whole lot better.
Paul Wilson is off to a remarkable start, and Danny Graves is saving everything in sight, including the Krispy Kremes that Ronnie ordered.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's back and out of play. Atlanta's leading in Philadelphia 2-0. Mike Hampton and Randy Wolf are tangling. Braves having all kinds of injury problems. Chipper Jones had to leave the game after getting hit. Julio Franco was scratched. Eddie Perez is playing first for him, and Dwayne Wise off the bench has hit a home run for the Atlanta club. They're trying to stay in the thick of things in the East. Line fouled out of play. The Mets also at 500. They're in Florida tonight. Dontrell Willis and Tom Glavine have hooked up Miguel Cabrera, the game's only RBI, as the Marlins lead there 1-0. Again later on, it's Carpenter and Clemens, Cardinals and Astros. Padres are in Milwaukee. Arizona visits Los Angeles with Randy Johnson on the mound, and the Giants suddenly red hot host Colorado. Ordonez battles but is down on strikes. Bases clear, 2 outs for Alou.
Solomon Torres' first game to the major leagues with the San Francisco Giant organization. They thought he was going to be a star for a long time. Didn't work out that way, and they traded him to Seattle. He's bounced around quite a bit. Now seems to have found a home in the bullpen for the Pirates. There are the career numbers, not very impressive. He was a starting pitcher. Now as a Pensman, he's done a pretty decent job of it.
2-hit night in game 1 for Moises Alou. Right about Torres. Seattle traded Sean Estes to San Francisco in exchange for Torres. Those were in the early days of Lou Pinella's tenure with the Mariners. They traded away a lot of good young left-handed pitching. Mike Hampton, another.
Estes went on to win 19, you might remember, with the Giants. Hampton went on to have some big years and some bigger salaries.
A ball and a strike to Moises Alou. Cubs 5, Pirates 4. If you're just now joining us, a dramatic 7th inning turnaround for the Cubs. With 2 outs, Kip Wells fading. The Pirates went to their bullpen with Johnston supposedly ready to face Hollinsworth. Dusty Baker pinch hit Michael Barrett, and he hit a 2-strike pitch into the Cub bullpen for a pinch hit grand slam. And the 1-run lead we now have in the 9th.
Joe Borowski will come in to try to save it. And he'll face a couple of fleas to lead off the inning. And the key to the inning might be retiring Redmond at the top. Redmond, Nunez, and Kendall. And if anybody gets on, Jack Wilson, whose base running blunder, giving the Cubs a chance to win the first game of the doubleheader.
3-1 count. And a 2-out walk is earned by Alou. That'll bring up Aramis Ramirez. He's walked, he's doubled, and has scored 2 of the Cubs' 5. Here's Joe. He's ready to go in the bottom half of the inning.
It's going to be a tale of 2 completely different games. It was very warm, sunshine when the first game started. It's supposed to go down in the mid-40s by the time the second game ends.
There's a rocket down the left field line. Is it fair? It is. Funny ricochet, but handled nicely out there by Bay. And in safely at second with a ringing double is Ramirez.
Well, if Bay gets that one to the cutoff man, and the cutoff man being Jack Wilson. They got a real good shot at cutting down Ramirez. This one fortuitously bounces right back to Bay. Overthrows the cutoff man. And on the play, the trailer, Ramirez goes into second for his second double of the night.
So that'll bring up Michael Barrett. The Cub fans give him a big ovation. Again, it was his grand slam that turned the game around. 10 Cub hits. And the ball low and inside. 1-0 the count. Oliver Perez for the Pirates. Glendon Rush for the Cubs in game 2 of tonight's double dip.
I'm surprised that Lloyd McClendon with first base open, as hot as Barrett has been, doesn't just put him at first and take their chances with Derek Lee, who's been very cool.
Wind freshening up a bit, blowing straight out over the Cub bullpen. We've seen Sammy Sosa in his Cub career hit one out past the camera tower to the right of the batter's eye. Over the top of the Pirate bullpen. That's some kind of poke. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Barrett.
Good slider by Torres. What Moises has to be aware of is Torres trying to get a little too much on that slider, throwing it in the dirt. Cubs could dearly use an insurance run.
Down swinging goes Barrett. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs 5, Pirates 4. Here comes Joe Borowski.
Rusty, I feel the need.
Not right now.
No, Rusty, I feel the need.
Girls, if you feel the need for speed, let's go to Chicagoland Speedway.
Here's your chance to see the stars of NASCAR, ARCA, and Indy racing. Feel the need for NASCAR July 10th and 11th. Feel the need for ARCA and Indy racing on September 11th and 12th. Act now to reserve your track pack to all the great racing action by calling 815-727-RACE or visit ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
Are you feeling the need?
Even close up, hair color should look natural. That's why today's Just for Men with X-Gray Science targets only the gray hair, replacing it with subtle tones that match your own color. In 5 easy minutes, vitamin-enriched Just for Men rejuvenates hair, brings back a natural look. No matter how close up she gets. Just for Men with X-Gray Science, the Rejuvenator.
Get it all. 0 for 60 plus 2,000 cashback and the best-selling sport utility in America. Only one introduced a fully independent rear suspension. Only one has so much to offer with available features like a free 3rd-row fold flat seat, Ford's adjustable brake and gas pedals, and Ford's family entertainment system. Explorer is the one. Get it all with 0% financing for 60 months, plus 2,000 cashback and Ford Explorer, Chicago's best-selling medium sport utility. Get it all.
Let's get to the bottom of the 9th inning, shall we? 5-4. Cubs are in front. 2 changes as the Pirates come a-calling. Ramon Martinez takes over defensively for Todd Walker out at second base. And there's the man of the hour. Joe Borowski's on to try to nail it down for the Cubs.
Borowski looking for save number 9. Record at 2-2 on for the 19th time. And there's Ramon to shore up the defense. And the key to the inning is going to be Tyke Redmond at the top. And he's the first man Joe is going to face. You allow him on, you've got some problems because he has great speed.
A perfect 8 for 8 is Mr. Borowski this season.
23 in a row. Has he been successful?
And Redmond will face him first. He's 2 for 3 lifetime against Borowski in his brief major league career. So here we go. 5-4, Cubs leading the Pirates. Steve mentioned at the start of our telecast, Redmond figured to have a pretty good game, and he has. He's 2 out of 3 with a run scored. The Cubs guarding the lines, in at first and third, thinking Redmond might attempt a bunt. No sign of it, as ball 1 is way outside to Tyke Redmond.
You can't allow him to pull the ball. They're playing him as an off-field hitter. And you know he's going to take a strike.
Cub outfielders very shallow with Tyke Redmond up. Late strike call. We'll take it. 2-1. Joe battles back to even it up with 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe's pitches have been sharpening up the last 4 or 5 outings. He's looked a whole lot more comfortable and effective.
He told me that it was a mechanical change that he worked out with Larry Rothschild. If he does go to the backdoor slider, it best be away.
It skips up there for a full count. .22 straight saves for Joe Borowski. That is a Cub team record. He's 8 for 8 this year.
If he wants to keep that streak alive, he'll retire this guy.
Fly ball center field. Look at Patterson fly back. It's over his head. Told you they were playing shallow. And Redmond's going to round second. He's going to try for third. The throw had him beat, but it's off target. Triple.
Redmond accelerating around second base, and he crushes this one away. He wasn't running when he left the box, and then almost gets thrown out at third base. If he turns it on, it's going to be a no play at third. If this ball is on the mark, they got a good shot at getting him. So now the infield has to come in at all 4 positions. Redmond walks out of the box. Bud McClennan's not going to like that.
Third triple, but he represents the tying run. Here's Nunez. And the Cub outfield now backs up a couple of steps. Told you Patterson and company playing awfully shallow with the wind blowing out tonight. And Nunez hit it over Corey's head and represents the game tying run with nobody out in the 9th. One ball, 1 strike to Abraham Nunez.
And Nunez is 2 for 7 lifetime against Joe. Normally he's made contact against him. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. He scored the runner 3 of 4. That's a pretty good stat.
Got backdoor call that time, 1-2.
That one was a break.
Too far off the plate. Look ahead to the man on deck. If you get Nunez, do you walk Kendall?
No. You got to pitch to Kendall and can't put the tying run on. Not with Wilson and Ward.
Little dribbler. That's going to be foul at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cubs have a 5-4 lead, but a leadoff triple has the Pirates fans chanting here in the 9th inning. There's nobody out. Little broken back flipper. That's going to tie the game, and that's the first blown save for Borowski this year. A triple and a single, and now the winning run on with nobody out.
When you have to bring the infield in, it makes it real tough, and that particular base hit shows you that you can put 50 points on a hitter's batting average with the infield pulled in. Redmond just coasts home. And Abraham Nunez comes through in a big way. It's tied at 5, and that's the winning run at first.
And now you've got real problems. Here's Kendall. A real tough man to strike out.
Well, he's also killed Borowski. He's 5 of 11. I wouldn't bunt him in this situation. If anything, use a hit and run.
Nunez has a pretty good lead at first, not going, and the pitch bends in for a strike. 0-1 to Jason Kendall. A seesaw ball game in Pittsburgh. Pirates had a 4-1 lead entering the 7th. The Cubs took a 5-4 lead on the Barrett grand slam, but a triple and a single with the drawn in infield ties it up. 0-2.
Now, you don't figure that Joe's going to strike out Jason Kendall, but he has grounded into 4 double plays. And in this situation, 0-2, you have to keep your eye on Nunez, who's not a speed demon, but will run on occasion. He's 1 out of 2 this year.
Barrett's caught 4 of 19 attempting to steal. Not moving. Sharply hit toward Ordonez. That's off his glove and into left field. Around second, Nunez. He's going to make it to third without a play. And the Pirates have the winning run 90 feet away.
Ordonez tried to play that ball off the side. If you get in front of it, worst case scenario, you got the force out at second. It's going to go as a hit. Watch it again. The ball's hit with something on it. Ray might have had a chance to get part of the body on. He plays it to the side, and Nunez representing the winning run with nobody out. Scampers to third. Now everybody, infield and outfield, has to come in. And now you do have a real good butter up in Jack Wilson.
Wilson's 2 out of 4 with 2 singles, 2 RBIs. And every play in the playbook available for the Pirates. In the dirt, Barrett's got to smother everything to try to find a way somehow to get out of this 9th inning.
Well, with Jack Wilson 0 for 11 lifetime against Borowski. And good speed at third with Nunez. A little bunt up the right side's a real good play.
Another good stop, ball 2. 3 Pirate hits in the 9th inning, started off by the Redmond triple over Corey Patterson's head. Infield came in for Nunez. He broke his bat, blooped it over Martinez's head into shallow right. Then Jason Kendall with a smash played to the side by Ray Ordonez at short. That sends Nunez to third, and he's the only runner of consequence at this point.
John Russell, the third base coach, talking with Nunez at third.
2-0. Little fly ball, center field, diving play, Patterson. There's the catch, no tag.
Terrible base running play by Nunez. It just was awful. If he's tagging up with Corey diving, then you have to test Corey. By not tagging up, no chance to score. Cubs get a tremendous break. Watch it again. Nunez is actually 2 steps down the line. This is just an awful play by Nunez.
A great catch. Wilson saying,
well, he can't believe that Nunez didn't tag up.
Absolutely, and he's right.
Boy, this has not been an artistic success by either team, but the Pirates have played exceptionally bad baseball. And let's see if the Cubs can get out of this inning with Craig Wilson and the bases loaded and 1 out because they're walking Ward.
Pittsburgh ran themselves out of the 7th inning. They didn't tag here, and that might help the Cubs push this thing to the 10th.
Well, that had to be what John Russell told Nunez. Anything hit to the outfield, you have to tag up. If it drops, you're going to score easily.
Well, we're glad of the mistake. They're loaded, however, with 1 out. And here is Craig Wilson. Wilson lifetime is 0 for 8 versus Joe Borowski. No place to put him. Wilson was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. That highlights his night offensively. A double play ball would be sweet. And he was thinking about ending it with that swing. No balls and a strike.
Well, the only problem on that is if it's hit to the corners, you can't turn two unless you're absolutely sure that you can turn a pair. That's the winning run at third. They're in at the corners. They're going to have to go home with it. Unless you strike him out, then you don't have to worry about it.
First blown save of the season for Borowski. Can he wiggle out of this mess and send it to the 10th?
Well, if he does get out of it, it's going to take some good pitching, and it was a great defensive play by Corey Patterson. Coupled with a real bad base running play. And to get out of it, Joe could use strike three on a good hard slider low and away to Wilson.
But again, Barrett's got to block it. The 1-2. Ball two, strike two.
Dusty loosening up in case the Cubs might need a pinch runner late.
He got him on strikes. Two down. Wilson with those blonde locks flowing might do a little damage in the Pirate tunnel leading to their dugout. He's down for the second out in the bottom of the ninth.
Good slider, and now get by Rob Mackowiak, and it'll be on to the 10th.
Mackowiak is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, but he too has been red hot for Pittsburgh. No place to put him. That's ball one. Mackowiak, another one of these Pirates that's had good luck against Joe. 5 for 10 career-wise with a home run.
The Pirates 0-19. This season when trailing after 8 innings. The Cubs will have to go to extras if they want to extend that streak.
Ball two. 2 balls and a strike. The inning started. Redmond hit the ball over Corey's head in center. And he scored the game-tying run, so it's 5-5 in the ninth. Fly ball hammered right center field. That one is going to go in a big way, and the Pittsburgh Pirates get a game-winning grand slam in the ninth inning, and the Cubs let one get away in the ninth.
The first career grand slam for 2 players. Michael Barrett, but more importantly, Rob Mackowiak, the product of Oak Lawn, Illinois, breaks the hearts of the Cubs here in the ninth. He's driven in 24 in his 9th home run, and the Pirates, who tried mightily on the bases to give it to the Cubs, hit it out of the ballpark to take it away.
So game one of this doubleheader does not go well at all for the Cubs. Matt Clement struggled. Joe Borowski struggled even more so in the 9th inning. And Rob Mackowiak and Michael Barrett, each with, as Steve mentioned, their first grand slams in their major league careers. Unfortunately, Gale and Dave, Mackowiak's decides it. 9-5, the Pirates win it in their last at bat. And the Cubs will try to split the doubleheader in game 2.
Okay, Chip, coming up on the Between Game post show, Matt Clement took a walk on the wild side. Michael Barrett straightened things out, but then there was Rob Mackowiak, the bad and good of Game 1. No need to rush when Glendon's on the hill. A look at Game 2's mound matchup. And are you ready for another Let's Play 2? A preview of the second installment of this doubleheader in Pittsburgh. It's next on the ATA postgame show.
Fox Sports Net's coverage of Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Over 2,800 nonstop daily flights to 60 destinations all across the country. Your Chicagoland Pontiac dealers. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. Comcast, proud to be Chicagoland's cable company. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. And by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai.
Hyundai Initial Quality is winning people over. The Hyundai Sonata was just named the highest-ranked entry midsize car in Initial Quality by J.D. Power & Associates. That dedication to quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. And the feature-packed Hyundai Sonata starts for as little as $15,339. So don't buy another sedan before you check out the highest-ranked Hyundai Sonata. Hyundai, win. During our Memorial Day savings event, get $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Hi, can I get your name?
Cheap, lazy remote control hog.
Gotcha. Have a seat.
Never asked for directions?
Male stereotypes are sometimes true. That's why they're supercuts.
Always leaves the seat up.
Because even if he's a
non-committal mama's boy?
Yeah.
A guy still deserves to look good.
Sex-obsessed procrastinator?
And so do women. Supercuts. We know how it is.
Try Supercolor, quick, affordable hair color for men and women at participating Supercuts.
Trouble finding a signal? Try GSM America, only from AT&T Wireless. With double the coverage and improved signal strength, it's our best network ever.
Use mine.
Oh, thanks.
Sign up for our national plan now and pay no roaming charges anywhere in the U.S. We'll even give you a 30-day risk-free trial.
Thanks. So maybe I could call you sometime.
Apparently not.
GSM America from AT&T Wireless. How many bars do you have?
Get it all. 0 for 60 plus 2,000 cashback and the best-selling sport utility in America. Only one introduced a fully independent rear suspension. Only one has so much to offer with available features like a free third-row fold flat seat, Ford's adjustable brake and gas pedals, and Ford's family entertainment system. Explorer is the one. Get it all with 0% financing for 60 months, plus 2,000 cashback and Ford Explorer, Chicago's best-selling medium sport utility. Get it all.
This is the ATA Chicago Cubs postgame show, live from Fox Sports Net.
Welcome into the Chicago Cubs ATA postgame show. Gail Fisher and Dave Otto here. Boy, a lot of action in Game 1 of this doubleheader, just not the right kind of action. A couple of grand slams, though, one by Michael Barrett, but it was the one by Rob Mackowiak that decided the game.
You know, what's so frustrating about that as a pitcher, you throw 3 terrific pitches to Craig Wilson with 1 out. Now you have 2 outs, and you hang a slider, and Mackowiak 0 for 4 in the ballgame, hits it out of the ballpark. It's frustrating as a pitcher, but what are you going to do? You're going to have to go get the second game and split this son of a gun.
Yeah, it knocks the wind out of your sails, but they do have to put it behind them because Game 2 is coming up in just a bit. Let's head out to PNC Park now and bring in the Cubs broadcast team with Chip Carey and Steve Stone. And, guys, what can you say? Neither team really played that well, but the Pirates come out on top.
Yeah, this was not an artistic game by any stretch of the imagination, but a real frustrating one for the Cubs. They had the 1-run lead heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. Joe Borowski, for the first time in a long time, lets one get away, and Mackowiak decides it with a game-ending grand slam.
Looked like it was going to be all Pittsburgh, and you can live with that. I mean, you just get blown out. It looked like Kip Wells was sailing along. Then he ran out of gas. Michael Barrett came on. When he hit the grand slam, all of a sudden your emotions at the bottom just soared to the top. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh on the bases tried to give it away, but at the end, you match grand slam for grand slam, and the Pirates then scored a few too many in the 9th inning for the Cubs. And you're right, Joe Borowski, who had done a nice job in save situations, did let one get away. Hawkins threw great. The Cubs in the end got to win the second game, and it's going to be behind Glendon Rush, a left-hander against a team that has a lot of right-handed thunder.
Steve, you mentioned your keys for Game 1, control the Wilsons. The Cubs were 50% on target. They got Craig Wilson out, but Jack Wilson was a real pest again.
Well, he's always a pest, and the top four in the lineup do a real good job. You figure Jason Kendall always does a good job. That play wasn't the best for Ray Ordonez, but they'll always hit awfully hard. As far as the Cubs are concerned, this has not been the best road trip they've seen. They still have a chance with 3 more games here in Pittsburgh, however.
All right, Chip, we've got game time set for about the top of the hour, so
we'll see you then.
Try to take a break. Steve, hang on one second. We want to talk about those keys to the game that we talked about in the pregame show, and I know you mentioned the Wilsons. We'll let Dave have a chance to revise his key, but actually your key was pretty on target.
Well, Jack Wilson's pretty good. They got Craig Wilson out in a key situation. He didn't do much. And Jack Wilson, not only with 2 hits and 2 runs driven in, but he made one of the key base running mistakes that I thought was going to lead the Cubs to victory. As it turned out, it didn't work out that way. And again, you have to control the Wilsons. If you don't, you have some problems. And Dave's key, I think his key was, if I believe and I remember right, was stay away from Mackowiak late.
Right.
Either that or something about Derek Lee. I'm not sure which, but whatever the case,
right.
It didn't work out quite as well as the Cubs would have hoped.
Boy, I tried to go with D. Lee, and then I changed my key midstream. I felt like the Cubs bench was going to do something. But Stoney, you know, getting back to you mentioned it just a second ago. The Cubs do come back from this ball game. They're down 4-1. Kip Wells is dealing some terrific at-bats leading up to the Michael Barrett grand slam with 2 outs. You know, Moises Alou and Aramis Ramirez, both. Alou with the base hit and Ramirez. I mean, that's going to be a key for the Cubs, you know, particularly without Sammy Sosa in that lineup.
Well, they're facing a pretty good left-hander in the second game in Oliver Perez, so it's going to be up to Michael Barrett, who's going to catch the second game, to maybe provide some of the offense. He's having a banner offensive year. But usually in a game where the Cubs score 5 runs, they come away with a win. That wasn't the case here tonight, and the Pirates, who were 0-19 when trailing after 8 innings, break out of that streak. They've been struggling here at home, so for them, in front of a pretty big crowd, this was a big win.
All right, Steve, real quick, what is your key for game 2? Barrett, perhaps? I don't know, Mackowiak?
Well, my key, right, Barrett's a good one, and Mackowiak also a good one. My key is going to be Glendon Rush, because this is a tough team to face for left-handers, and Glendon Rush is 2-0. He threw the ball very well against St. Louis. He's got to be the key because, as Dave can tell you, it usually starts and ends with that starting pitcher. If he has a good night, you've got a good chance. If he gets blown out early and the Cubs have to use that bullpen, coming back with 2 more here in Pittsburgh, they're going to be in trouble. So he's got to take this game deep into the night.
Well, I'm going to change my key from the first game. You know, Derek Lee 0 in the ball game. I'm going to wait until June with Derek Lee. So now I'm going to go with Stoney. Aramis Ramirez, a couple of hits in the first game. I hope he's not too tired. He's hitting over 400 against lefties. He's 2 for 2 against Mr. Perez. So Ramirez is my guy.
Well, if he is tired at 25 years old, there should be an investigation.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Go take a break. We'll see you at the top of the hour for the start of game 2. All right, a disappointing one day for the Cubs in this one. Fun, though, to watch grand slams. Not fun to watch the Pirates hit one, but a couple of long balls at PNC Park.
You know, unfortunate, Matt Clement just self-destructed in this ball game. You know, he was cruising along. He had to run the bases in the 5th inning. And Kip Wells dealing in this game, and I give the Cubs credit for coming back against Kip Wells, but unfortunately fell short in the end. You just hung one breaking ball, and that was it.
All right, Dave, let's start from the beginning, shall we? Let's let you see how this one unfolded as we take a look back at the highlights. It is Matt Clement on the mound for the Cubs, who usually pitches very well against Pittsburgh. He is a native Pennsylvanian. We're going to go to the top of the 3rd. Bucco on first, and Clement trying to help his own cause. Bunts foul for 3rd strike. And that comes back to haunt the Cubs. 2 batters later, Bucco now at 3rd. Ray Ordonez dribbles it back to the mound. Wells gets Bucco hung up.
Yeah, early in the ballgame, Cubs failed to advance some runners in some key spots, and that really got Kip Wells into his rhythm.
All right, top of the 4th, after Aramis Ramirez leads off with a double. Corey Patterson base hit to center. Ramirez scores. Cubs on the board.
Another 2-out knock for the Cubs all year long, and been big 2 outs.
Top of the 5th. 2 on, no outs for Ray Ordonez, and he's bunting. Kip Wells goes to 3rd. Clement's safe.
Yeah, and once Kip Wells bobbles this ball, he needs to go to first base, and the Cubs really catch a break, and now you have action. Now you got the bases juiced.
Absolutely, with nobody out, presents the Falco window of opportunity. Moises Alou, broken bat, 1 hopper, back to Wells. double play ball.
That's a get out of jail free card right there for Kip Wells. Made a big pitch in a key spot.
So that won't get it done. Still 2 on for Ramirez. Ground ball to second. Cubs can't score after the bases were loaded with no outs.
You know, and as a pitcher, you're just trying to get out of it without giving up 2 runs. Kip Wells catches a break, gets out of it with no runs scored. Matt Clement had to run the bases in the 5th inning, and then after that, just lost his command.
So he gets a little wild here. And now the base hit to right is going to score a pair after the bases were loaded, so the Buccos take the lead 3-1.
Hollingsworth just bobbled it just a little bit to allow Redmond to score. The Pirates' 3rd run.
So a sac fly makes it 4-1. Then Clement hits Craig Wilson, his 3rd hit batman of the inning.
Yeah, we talked before the game about Matt Clement's arm angle, and he really lowered his arm. Jimmy Anderson did a terrific job coming into this ball game. Gets Mackowiak to end the inning. And this is where now the Cubs have 2 outs in the 7th inning. And nobody on base. Moises Liu, boy, you talk about a close pitch right there. That could have been strike 3. Kip Wells could have been out of the inning. Instead, Moises Liu gets a base hit.
The single to center puts runners at 1st and 3rd. And that's going to spell trouble now for the Pirates. Next up will be Aramis Ramirez. And he's going to take a walk, bases loaded.
Boy, terrific at bat by both Liu and Ramirez. Now Lloyd McClendon goes to his bullpen.
The Just for Men rejuvenating play of the game, Michael Barrett with bases loaded.
Fly ball hammered left center field, pretty deep. Can anybody get there? Redmond at the track, hit the wall. It's gone! A grand slam off the bench for Barrett. And the Cubs have turned the game around 5-4.
The first grand slam of his career, the 4th home run this season against the Pirates. So that really gives the Cubs a boost. We head to the bottom of the 9th now after a leadoff triple. Abraham Nunez flukes the single that scores Redmond. So Jobo blows the save. First save he's blown since August 2nd of last year.
Then you play the infield in that situation. You're on the road. You want to cut off that tying run. Corey Patterson makes a terrific play with men on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. And Mr. Nunez doesn't tag up. The rule is down you go, up you go back. Borowski gets a strikeout with Craig Wilson. 1 out away, and he hangs a breaking ball to Mackowiak, and that ends it.
That is your ball game. 9-5 is the final as the Cubs lose game 1. Taking a look at some of the hits on the day. Walker with a couple of hits, Moises Liu a couple of hits, and Corey Patterson comes up with a couple and an RBI, but the day belonged to Mackowiak in the end of this one with that grand slam to win it. So taking a look at the NL Central, then this now puts the Cubs 1.5 games back of Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh moves up to 4 games back.
This is a tremendous division. You know, Pittsburgh only 1 game under 500, the rest above 500, a much stronger division. Cincinnati keeps playing well.
So the Cubs will try to even things out in game 2 coming up at the top of the hour. Still to come on this show, he pitched a gem his last time out. Can Glendon Rush deliver for the Cubs again? Plus, who plays 2 and who gets to rest? A look at the new lineups for game 2. Pencil Michael Barrett in for sure.
Closed captioning on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
I just want an easier way with a lot of less hassles to get in my way today.
Everyday low fares. Just one of the many ways ATA is making travel easier.
So I'm gonna go easy, go ATA. I'm gonna go easy, go ATA.
When it starts showing up in video games, don't let the needle-pushing T5 Turbo Performance mess with your mind. It's still built like a Volvo. Introducing the all-new Volvo S40.
Fashions come and go, but one thing's always in style. Auto insurance from 21st Century, the one with the red seatbelt. Since 1958, 21st Century customers have gotten more for their money by dealing direct. New customers save an average of $300 a year. Hey, fashions change. Auto insurance this good never goes out of style. 21st Century. More features, less money. Since 1958. Call 21st Century Insurance Company at 1-800-211-SAVE.
Have a good summer. See you next season. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Stay close when you and your friends join in and make free calls to any Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any planned minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy any LG phone and get a VX3200 free.
Man, I can't wait to play next year.
Yeah, me too.
Are you all in?
Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
The ATA Chicago Cubs postgame show is brought to you in part by Verizon Wireless.
Taking a look at the results of our Buick poll question for the day. The Wilson boys. Well, which Wilson do you prefer? And everyone called in and said Preston Wilson or logged on to fsnchicago.com. And that makes some sense, although the Craig and Jack Wilson of the Pirates are playing very, very well, Dave.
And Preston's hurt.
And Preston
Really,
is hurt.
yeah.
Very good.
So,
nice call.
Yeah, but he had a great year last year.
All right, let's talk about the mound matchup from Game 1. Matt Clement really wasn't on his game, but it came down to that fifth inning. Like you said, he had to run the bases for the offense for the Cubs, and then comes out and gets a little wild.
You know, you can't make excuses as a pitcher, but he was a completely different pitcher after he ran the bases in the fifth inning. The first couple of innings, he had PlayStation stuff. I mean, he was filthy. He had tremendous breaking ball. You know, his arm was up. He had a good downward angle. And you mentioned before, Gal, you know, he deals against the Pirates, and that was certainly the case. You know, nice slow delivery, fluid. And you can really tell when you have good stuff is when you're getting a lot of swings on pitches out of the zone. The bomb's falling out of his fastball. Everything's working great for him early on. At one point, 4 strikeouts in a row, and then just hit a wall in the fifth. And I thought Michael Barrett did a pretty good job. Here, Matt Clement running the bases, leading off the inning, was on base the entire time, had to slide into second base. When Matt Clement has trouble throwing strikes, I think Bucco does a great job of calling breaking balls. Well, he hangs a breaking ball here to Randall Simon, who I'll tell you what, can flat out hit. Can't run right now, coming off the disabled list. He gets a base hit. But then, you know, again, his breaking ball started becoming up in the zone. You know, when a pitcher's getting tired, you can get tired after throwing 60 pitches sometimes. I mean, 3 hit batters in this particular inning for Matt Clement. Just one of those days where nothing went his way. Jack Wilson drives the ball with the bases juiced and just opens up the floodgates. So Matt, in that inning, gives up 4 runs, and the Pirates take the lead. Tough outing for him, but all year long has been nails.
Clement threw 80 pitches in 4 2/3 innings. He gave up the 4 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, 4 earned runs for him. Kip Wells, 6 2/3 innings. He was dealing there for a while and got a little bit tired. 114 pitches, 67 for strikes for Mr. Kip Wells. But the thing about Matt Clement that we were talking about in that 5th inning were the hit batters.
Right.
And this is our Mike's Hard Lemonade, hardly the usual, because it is very unusual for Matt Clement to hit 3 batters in 1 inning. Do you think it was from the base running before?
Well, you know, he lost his arm. He lost his slot, his release point. You know, that pitch there, and then here to Jason Kendall. I mean, again, you know, sometimes you just fall out of your rhythm, and sometimes you just can't get it back. And that's what's so tough about pitching sometimes. The one big improvement that really the staff as a whole has made for the most part, again, there are times you're going to go out there, you're not going to get it done, but a lot of times now these guys have been able to make adjustments immediately. Kerry Wood, it might take a couple years ago, it might have taken him 1 or 2 innings to get it back, but he's been able to do it almost, you know, batter to batter. And unfortunately today, Matt Clement was not able to make the adjustment and get back to his release point.
And I think a lot of credit has to go to Paul Bacco in that 5th inning for blocking a lot of those pitches that were in the dirt and preventing that from getting way out of control in that 5th inning.
It could have been a game saver. You know, if Matt Clement didn't give up a couple of those hits, Paul Bacco alone could have saved 2 or 3 runs just behind the plate. Did a nice job. This is a real tough staff to catch with the amount of stuff that some of these guys have.
And Dave, because of what happened to Joe Borowski with the blown save, everyone's going to overlook what the bullpen did before that, but really you had Beltran, Remlinger, and Hawkins come in and pitch very well.
Yeah, Jimmy Anderson did a nice job, and certainly Latoya Hawkins. Dusty Baker is going to stay with what's gotten this far right now until Joe Borowski proves otherwise. That's Joe Borowski's first blown save. Latroy had a terrific 8th inning, but you turn it over to your closer. Unfortunately, Joe almost got out of the inning, made some terrific pitches to Craig Wilson with the bases loaded and 1 out, but then got him out on a strikeout, but then was not able to do the job against Mackowiak.
All right, some other action from around the major leagues going on tonight. Let's take an ATA fly around the bases and check out what is happening. Cincinnati right now 6-2 over Montreal, and the Reds trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss. That one in the 5th inning, Dave. They had that 7-game win streak and then dropped a couple, so they're trying to get it going again. St. Louis and Houston scoreless in the 3rd inning. Roger Clemens can become the first 8-game winner in the major leagues. They're hosting those Redbirds. Chris Carpenter on the mound for the Cardinals, and scoreless in San Diego and Montreal. That game in the 3rd inning. The Brewers going for 3 in a row themselves, and the Padres right now in the middle of a 12-game road trip. So we'll keep you posted on all of these scores. Still to come on the show, Glendon Rush will try to do his part. The Cubs super sub has been super indeed. A look at his numbers when we come back.
I just want an easier way with a lot of less hassles to get in my way today.
Everyday low fares. Just one of the many ways ATA is making travel easier.
So I'm gonna go easy, go ATA. I'm gonna go easy, go ATA.
There's only one minivan has the most advanced safety system. Only one minivan has a flip-fold 3rd-row bench. Only one minivan has so much to offer with Ford's available safety canopy system covering all 3 rows of seats. Ford's adjustable brake and gas pedals, and Ford's family entertainment system. Freestar is the one. Now get an all-new Freestar with 0% financing for 60 months, or $4,000 cash back, plus get an extra $1,000 when financed through Ford Credit. Ford, the one and only.
This just in, 8664.
Feltco.
Call 866-4FEL DCO.
If you're a candidate for new windows, call Feltco.
Call 866-4FELTCO.
Feltco replacement windows stand for top quality at a low factory direct price.
Over 100,000 Chicagoland customers have chosen Feltco. Make the right call today.
Call 866-4FELTCO.
Services provided by Harry Carey's Restaurant, a legendary Italian steakhouse located in Chicago and Rosemont. Call 773-HOLY-COW or visit harrycareys.com for reservations.
The Cubs are spending Memorial Day weekend in Pittsburgh. Game 2 of a double dip coming up in just a few minutes. Game 3 of this series tomorrow, a 6:05 start on WGN. And then join us back here on Fox Sports Net for the series finale, noon on Sunday. And we will come right back and give you the lineup for Game 2 after the break.
The void is now filled.
A half hour of sports talk like never before.
I'm up in the ante.
Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions.
It's just my opinion, but I'm right.
I'm Max from New York with Max Kellerman. Smart, funny, and always opinionated. Weeknight on Fox Sports Net.
And we are dancing, and you're dangerous. Near me, I get ideas, and after we have kissed goodnight, still you linger.
Rico moves your ideas forward.
I think you get ideas too.
Thomas Schmidt.
Schmitty!
It's tough being the first one of my college friends to get a job. We like to talk a lot.
Guess how many cookies I have in my mouth?
6. That's why we all joined in.
Join in and make free calls to any Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using